Oh, should I grab the tarot cards so we can do a little bit of just background dig on these
I'm
dudes?
totally down for that.
We can either do we can either do talisman style, or we can do the character creation questions that are on the Google Docs between us, Ryan. So, but whatever, I'll go grab cards. Do we want to do talisman, or do we want answering from the whole major arcana?
I mean, I'm kind of good with just this.
I like the major arcana.
Well,
I mean, you don't have to.
This is for giving a little bit more background idea, character thought. This is that way. Like, this gives us the character set. This will allow us to expand on,
Right, okay.
who they are. So, I'll just grab the whole major arcana set.
Whomst do they be? Hamas.
What?
Good recipe, dude.
Yeah. Well, thank the New York Times.
Yeah. Got a little bit more. Alright.
So I think the only thing I changed is I put like a third of a cup of water in there before baking, just to give it a little extra moisture.
Yeah.
But that's basically it.
Oh, I think people are setting up fireworks. It is the May 2-4 weekend.
Is that a significant holiday in Canada?
Yeah, it's Victoria Day. Celebrating Queen Victoria's birthday.
I mean, we have Memorial Day coming up, so I wonder what
This is like kind of the unofficial start of
summer.
Yeah.
The way the major
I
arcana
guess it's
works
usually when people go and like
got,
open up their cottages for
prompts
the year and
written out, and depending on
whatnot.
which card you draw, you answer one of the 2 story prompts. It gives you keywords and shit. And it should probably relate to, whatever interesting thing in our past why we can't do that anymore. Yeah. So,
Ryan, do we want to do card draws as we go through characters?
Yeah, that works for me. I mean, whatever works best for you. If you need a couple of minutes to think and you want to draw cards first and then meditate on it for a second, that's fine too.
So, like I said, we're just doing the. I think unless you want to do a talisman one folded in as well, because the talisman one is like it tells you either about their past or their future, and it tells you either about what they think about themselves or the world thinks about them. But the other one that I'm getting ready right now, it's a series of questions, like story prompts, tied to each arcana, and you get one of the 2, and it sort of ties in with keywords and things like that.
Was that the one that we developed for Palaver?
It is. It is the cards for Palaver. The story prompt table.
So guys,
There it is.
I'm starting off with 4 burden.
Nice.
I will be more generous with treasure. I've realized that is important.
Yes.
We're starting
Also,
off with 4. Jesus, dude.
That's what the fucking RNG gave me, baby.
So there's the creator or the publisher of the game
Yes.
has released a podcast. I think I was telling you about this, going over the rules and then an actual play. And so listening to that, I've got some more clarity on how to run Trophy. So one thing that is kind of true of the whole game is that you always have the mechanical outs. Like you can spend 1 token to get treasure, you can spend 3 tokens to complete a set. There are also narrative outs. So if you figure out a way narratively to find a piece of treasure, like if I describe, a room full of artifacts, you could just take those artifacts.
I see.
You don't need to spend a token to do so. Now, on the other hand, it's like if you say, "Oh, is there any treasure behind the bookcase?" and I say, "No, there isn't," you can always spend a token and say, "Oh, but yes, there is."
Oh, but yes, there is this interesting and important thing here.
Yes. So not quite as powerful as a fate point in that you can't just establish any truth, but you can spend that token to get a treasure or spend 3 to move on with the set. But if you find a narrative answer to any of those things, that also that is also sufficient.
I need to grab up a charger because I'm going to need to look at my phone for my character.
Okay. Sorry, I got up because I wanted to make sure all the appliances in the kitchen were off before we began. I'm like, is there anything still running? That is an important thing to check.
It is an important thing to check.
So, alright. You know, we're probably going to have a lot of dead air on this recording, but that's just how it be.
I mean, the recording's for us, so.
Good point.
Be a bit different if it was for a podcast.
Just like
I think there are some people who underestimate how much editing and curation goes into a really good podcast that sounds like a conversation or just an actual play session.
Right. Or they're getting rid of as much dead air and kind of.
Exactly. And talking to, like, I have some friends who do some actual play podcasting and streaming, and how, like, there is an art to making things flow.
Yeah.
And just keeping the pacing going, taking the time to think, and making that dead air so you can edit that out easily, and then pop back in so it sounds like you've got this beautiful flowing narration for the GM and for the players and stuff.
Right.
Okay. Alright. No, I'm just trying to, take myself out with a cord between my like middle toe and my ring toe. I'm just trying to.
He's just trying to rip the whole socket out of the wall.
Yeah, with I am so powerful. I need only the strength.
So he's like leveling up what I did to the headphones.
Yeah.
But I need only the strength between those toes to fuck.
When I moved in, Colin got me this really nice pair of headphones. They're very nice. Worked extremely well. I was down at my desk painting like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
3 weeks ago. And I stood up. And I had my phone tucked into my breast pocket specifically so that it wouldn't do this. So that it was further away, but it just did. It caught on one of the knobs on my desk, and it tore the jack into 3 pieces. So there was like rungs of the jack stuck in my phone that I had to use like needle nose pliers to pull out. And then like a third piece that sprung off, and then what was left of the actual connection with the wire.
That's unfortunate.
It was brutal.
So when lockdown is over, I think you should just take that to like an electronics repair shop and be like, yo,
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
can you replace this? Alright.
I was just shuffling up the.
Let me know when we're ready to.
Yeah.
No worries.
Take a pull. What's your character's name?
Fucking Rasse. R-A-S-E-I.
Fucking Rasse. Okay. What's the number we got here?
7?
No.
No. That's
14.
not 7, that's 14.
14, that's judgment. You abstained from something you love for the sake of another, or overindulgence in personal vice hurt someone you love. Keywords: harmony, purity, imbalance, extremism.
Is this from your set, or is this just the major arcana?
This is from Palaver. This is from another game that Ryan and I threw together.
Okay.
But these are just like character creation story prompts. Give you an idea.
I guess I'll go next.
So that fits so perfectly because I used to be a forlorn lover.
Do you wanna talk about it now, or do you want people to draw?
I'm gonna think about it for a second.
Okay.
Pick whichever one.
Colin, tell me your character's name.
My character's name is Inda. And I'm going to draw a card here. Just from the middle. Hang on to it. Or put it back in the deck.
You gotta take a look at it. Keep it. What number is it?
20. Judgment.
20. Judgment. You realized that a chapter of your life had closed and a new one was beginning. Or you realized that a deeply held goal would never come to fruition.
Dude.
Keywords: completion, fulfillment, stagnation, entropy.
That first one was, a chapter of my life
Had closed and a new one was beginning.
New one was beginning. So that also works perfectly because my character's name is Inda, once an indebted butcher, now a sorcerer. You have one desire. I bribe. I bribe.
Got that Midwest twang.
Yeah.
Throwing out brabs.
I bribed Senis Chow into leaving me alone. So what is a Senis Chow? Seneschal.
It depends on the context, but it's basically an official.
Yeah.
It's a cavalry rank.
Oh.
But it's basically like somebody's deputy, or of like comparable rank. Like it's.
They are someone of power, but not someone of great power.
Okay.
So
I just want them to leave me alone.
Yep. Your keywords. Harmony, purity, imbalance, extremism. And let's see.
I will also want my. Hang on.
Yes.
Key.
Completion.
Oh, sorry. Can you also tell me your character's pronouns?
Yeah.
I'm assuming Inda is a woman.
Okay.
You can spin it any way you want.
Yep.
Rick, what are my keywords?
Your keywords: completion, fulfillment, stagnation, entropy.
Completion.
So Rase is she, her.
Fulfillment.
Stagnation, and entropy.
Just look at my fucking. The combination of things is like weird, but the potential is there for all kinds of stuff.
Surprise. Despair. Whoa. What a skill.
I have not picked
Skill
any of my
despair.
rituals yet. Or my spells.
You are kitted for kill. You want someone to die.
Extremism.
What are your skills?
Holy shit.
Harris or...
Harris has...
I mean, I want both, just so I can tailor things to stuff that you can do,
Uh,
or not.
Let's see. Can you... No, that doesn't work. I'll take this one. The Fool. 0. And I got it upside down. Oh, you know what is funny, Ryan? We don't actually have a space
0.
for the Fool on the table. So I think for this, for me, what I will do is I'm going to, because this doesn't fit on the table, I'm going to do a talisman draw for him. Because I think that that's just fitting at this point.
Double reroll.
Yeah, there's try again, but in a different format, bud.
The table that you have, is that the one for the D20? Because I also converted it.
Oh,
so
this
it could
is
work with
just the D20. Ah, yes, this is just the D20. Where? Do I have the one that's not? See, tarot card character. There it is. Ah, okay, great. Here's the Fool. I see now. He is on there.
I was gonna say.
Yes.
I didn't think Collins sounded like Judgment.
Yes. Let's see. Judgment specifically. We didn't have anything specifically for Judgment. We just had Redemption, Epiphany, Regret, and Burden. We didn't have any prompts.
Let me look at
least the
my
copy that I have
design.
doesn't have any specific prompts. It just has the keywords for Judgment.
Oh no, I have them here.
Okay.
Judgment. Someone saw you for who you truly are, or circumstances put you in charge of something you were not prepared to take on.
Ah, okay. So I was using a D20 table. We have the actual one here, so this could change things up for you a little bit. So here's Temperance. You abstain from something you love for the sake of another, or overindulgence in personal vice hurt someone you love. So I think those still fit quite well with your background and set. Colin, and you heard.
Sorry, what are my keywords?
Your keywords as Temperance are.
That was a lot of belch.
harmony, purity, imbalance, extremism. Those are the same. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Colin, did you hear Ryan's? Because I don't have Judgment's story prompts for me.
Oh,
Ryan has them.
so Ryan,
If you want, Colin, you can just stick with the ones you already got.
Yeah,
because-
I'm
It's
kind of. I like that.
Yeah, stick with it. You sounded inspired, so go with it. Rick, would you like me to read the Fool to you, or do you want to do a talisman draw?
I've got the Fool here, but I think I'm going to do a talisman draw because I think that's going. It's just that little bit of thing that worked out as well as it did. So I'm gonna might as well jump with it.
Sorry.
Also, Rick, what's your character's name and pronouns?
Ifari, and Ifari is they, them.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Spell the name.
Ifari. Ifari.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know how I know I have a bad sweet tooth?
How you know you have a bad sweet
I
tooth?
am stuffed.
Yeah.
From this.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about ice cream right now.
Nice. So let's see. My first card will be about their past. I have the Hierophant, which comes out to be. Let's see, specifically, I didn't have these written down, and I haven't interacted with the table in a bit. Let's see. Good stuff, dude. That was
Yeah, man. I only picked up
Oh,
a
yes.
6-pack. I should have picked up more.
Well, we can go out tomorrow and do that.
You know what?
I'm gonna
Where
morph
is-
into a fabric and flesh slug.
The Hierophant on the couch here.
I mean, we could just drive
The
down
Hierophant
to
was
Evans
the
and
Banyan,
tell
so
the
their past,
Prowler.
and what other
I
people
get-
think
I get
about
it.
them. So this will tell me what their kind of station in life is. We have the Star, which in this case is Eclipse. So
Rick, while you think,
Yes.
Colin, would you tell me your character's skills?
Yeah. My character skills are alchemy, rituals, and symbols. So do I need to pick a ritual? Like, how many rituals do I pick? Or, like, what spells
can-
do I take?
You can take, I think, up to 3 rituals. Knowledge about rituals is just like, if you see a ritual happening, you can learn more about it, or if like rituals have taken place there recently, kind of thing. Like if you're
Okay.
looking to see, like if there's residual magic effects.
It's like a sort of detect magic.
it's
Yeah,
how
it's like-
it's how a lot of the magic research was done by Adira, the last game, right? Because one of her skills was
yeah.
rituals, so she was able to go on that to be able to figure out
Yeah,
magical
like
effects and stuff.
discern
So-
different magical
Yeah.
effects.
Yeah, so it's, I would say like it's not a thing that you would use when casting rituals,
Yeah.
but when you are trying to learn about rituals. So you said alchemy, rituals, and symbols.
Alchemy, rituals, and symbols. Yes.
Good. Harris, Brassey's skills.
So,
She's got some skills.
I am formerly a forlorn romantic. I am now a lockpick.
Interesting.
My skills are acrobatics, security,
Mhm. Security.
yeah, surprise, and despair. I have one desire. Actually, do you want to know that right now?
You have one desire.
Yeah. That's
This is
just
goal.
on in the. It's part of my goal. It's part of the.
Oh, your drive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Arm the resistance against Lord Hafir's tyranny.
Okay.
Hey Rick, hold the tray over here. I want to roll for
Yep.
what spells I get.
And skill-wise, Ifari, she has skills with spirits, animals, rituals, and being an unheeded prophet, omens as well. Her desire is to pay the toll of the Emerald Bridge. Or their desire, rather. Their desire is to pay the toll of the Emerald Bridge.
Oh, Colin, you should have one more skill from your background. You have alchemy symbols from your profession.
Yep, and then my background skill is slaughter.
Fuck!
Because I was a butcher.
Wasn't that? No, sorry. I was thinking of
Carnage.
Carnage in our game with
Honey Heist.
Oh, yeah.
with a honey badger and
Yeah, dude. Ryan, how many spells do I get?
You may take up to 3, but you are not obligated to take any at all.
I'm going to take 3 of them. Alright, so that was my first one. Here's my second one. 3. Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
And you also increase your ruin by 1 for every ritual you take.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going. I'll tell you about this when I get it.
Man.
So, I realized it's the card that I drew first wasn't the Banyan. It's actually the Senator, which is a significantly different past than the Banyan,
Here's the...
which I think
Dice
fits
tray.
with
Do you want me to just leave
with
the dice
Ifari.
right here and we'll just...
that's
with them being an unheeded prophet who now is a shaman.
Harris, you have your light
I think
nine
actually
dark die?
having the
my
Senator
Do you have your light
as
9 dark die?
their past
getting them now.
makes sense.
Rick, are those your light die?
Yes.
Okay.
And even more so, it's just especially with because the other card that I drew is what does society think about you? Because the option what do you think about yourself? I drew the eclipse, which is about things aligning exactly correctly and perfectly, and up until it happens, it doesn't seem like it will. And what is it specifically?
Whoa.
Excuse you.
That was something.
Where is the eclipse? That's my selling. Dear favorite. Yeah. It's a momentous occasion wherein expectation is inverted, because I mean they're an unheeded prophet, so even in the first sentence, it's layering on.
Yeah.
The eclipse requires specific circumstances to align. Goes far deeper than strategy or cutting, and then it enacts change not by might. It recognizes itself fully, subjectively and objectively alike. It accepts these with assiduity. It exerts itself upon equilibrium, and it seems achieving that which otherwise seems impossible and mysterious to those on the outside. So I think that they are someone who is, not exactly trusted by the common average folk.
Mm-hmm.
They, I'm having a feeling, I'm figuring out now more what's happened with them and why they aren't. How much do you want us to share now, or do you want it to come up, as we talk in character with one another?
Give a brief.
Okay.
That's no more than 5 minutes
Cool. Does anybody else?
of your character's. Share as much as you would like to, but
Yeah.
We'll make sure that stuff comes up in game as well.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck. That just reset all my shit, but I had.
Fuck.
Yeah, don't accidentally refresh the page, because then you refresh your character.
That's what I did was until I found a name that I enjoyed. I just kept hitting the refresh button.
Ryan, we could do a game mechanic like that where, like, if you accidentally refresh, your character fucking drop dead. like they had a heart attack or some shit. Just like
It blipped out of existence.
Just get some
just
fucking everyone is John shit up in here.
enlighten me. I don't know what everyone is, John.
It's a fun game where
What was my
everyone
first skill?
is a personality trait. Everyone is like a separate personality living within John. Whether or not it is John is someone experiencing dissociative identity, or John is someone plagued by spirits or demons or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. But each person is vying for control of John. And every chance there can be, they're bidding for control. And when you have control of John, you're John. Everyone is John, and everyone has different skills. One time I was a clown who had skills in explosives and seduction. Oh, and something else too, I forget.
Sexy when you walk away from explosions. Ryan, what was my first skill that I told you?
You had acrobatics, security, surprise, and despair.
Hey, Rick,
Yes.
can you give me a pillow from the
Excellent.
closet so I can sit on it?
I just reconstituted my character after losing my character sheet.
You have your club and your helmet.
And my spear, and my 12 hard candies.
Yeah, they are set for fighting.
Especially with those 12 hard candies.
Yeah, you gotta keep your energy up if you're gonna kill.
Yeah, dude. Sugar high so you can get that bloodlust.
Okay.
Imagine taking bog standard fantasy but setting in an elementary schoolyard where barbarians just got a sugar rush.
It's like my cousin. My cousin, he's epileptic, and he had his first seizure. Like, he was walking to get water from the fountain in first grade, and he just, like, forgot why he was there. And, like, in third grade, like, it was under control, but for some reason people, like, made fun of him, and he ended up getting in a fight with, like, 5 other kids at the same time, and he was beating the shit out of them.
Holy fuck.
Two teachers had to pull him off of the 5th kid that he had injured.
Holy shit.
Tell me more, tell me more.
That's about all I know. I just learned that for the first time last May.
Fucking
My other cousin.
wild. Love that. Little barbarian boy. I hate it because children are getting wounded, but just the idea objectively as a thought is wild.
I mean, you know, if you're making fun of a kid for being epileptic,
Yeah.
rule of the jungle, baby. Talk shit, get hit.
Yeah. That's
I'm with Harris on this one.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's a time and place for kids to learn something like that. You know, I just wish it didn't require them getting hurt. But yes, I understand. I learned quite a few percussive lessons myself. I am not saying that.
Well, it's because you were in band, okay?
I don't know how to play the fucking drums.
You're on the triangle, baby.
It's just because I'm at such weird angles from everybody else. That's all.
Rick Heisey, scaling man.
Oh no!
He'll be back.
Dude, imagine if he just decided to fuck off. He's like, these guys are annoying.
These guys are shitty.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
There we go.
Scalinability? Scalinity. That's the worst.
My computer's fan is on, running really high. My computer's running really hot for some reason.
Huh. That's because of the talking about scalinity.
That must be it.
Yeah, it heard about scaling triangles and decided it didn't want to do that math.
Woohoo! Yep.
It's just 180 degrees within a triangle at all times. It doesn't matter how.
Yeah, doesn't matter what the outside, what's the thermometer reads.
There's another one. I just. Ooh.
Alright, boys.
I do want to know, though, when you got those beans, were you at Costco?
No.
Did you have to say these beans have got to wait while you went and saved the world?
We have quite literally been folding in. These beans have got to wait. There's a new one we kicked up yesterday too. I'm starting to smell the pizza.
Yeah.
So we're talking about tasks we had to achieve, and it's like, man, well, okay, doing this and this. These beans have got to wait, but I'm starting to smell the pizza on this.
Because we were digging the hole, and like Rick and I both at around the same time went, "Do you smell pizza?" We're like, yeah, we smell pizza.
It took me about a half minute to smell it, and then I was like, oh, starting to smell the pizza.
It just became a phrase of progress. When something you're seeing it's nearing completion, but it is not quite yet there. Now you're starting to smell the pizza.
Oh, just continue.
And you know what? There is going to be a playset or a backdrop for dialect
Yeah.
based on coronavirus.
Yeah. Let's fucking make one. We can do that ourselves. Colin, we need to cut this part out of the recording.
Why?
So that way nobody else gets the idea and steals it.
Well, we're just gonna keep it amongst ourselves.
I know.
Sorry,
He's talking about me.
I had a dirty
Yeah,
thought
Ryan's gonna
about
steal stuff. You had a dirty thought. I don't.
the way that you phrased starting to smell that pizza in the explanation. It's bad. Do you guys want me to explain it? Or just gonna leave it?
Colin, just say this horrendous thought that you have. And say the most
the one
shocking
that
thing I've
caused
ever
me-
heard.
The one that caused me to slightly convulse.
Say the most terrible thing any of us have ever heard.
Because you were saying when an action or progress is like being made
Nearing completion.
and then nearing completion, I just thought about like, dude, you're in bed with someone and you're getting close, you just say, starting to smell that pizza, and then you come.
Eventually, just hearing the smell of pizza is gonna make you orgasm. You're gonna so associate starting to smell the pizza with smelling pizza and coming, and you can't walk past a pizzeria without having napkins in your pocket. Do you want that curse for yourself? You want that curse?
I had that curse for a long time.
What?
Well, you go eat at the
It
pizzeria.
wasn't pizza, but the first time I had sex, the person I was with had used a lot of cocoa butter, and so the scent of cocoa butter was in the room. And for at least a couple of years, every time I smelled cocoa butter or like coconut, I'd be like, no, wrong, no.
Yep. Oh yeah, there are some air
Not this
fresheners, man.
situation.
There are just some air fresheners that just. Yep. You gotta walk away. Gotta walk away.
Yep.
It's the scent. Now, I need to specify. It is the scent and not the air freshener itself. I am not aroused by air fresheners. I would like to make that clear.
Not only should you not delete this, you should share this on every avenue that you know. Let the whole world know about this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna specifically send this only to all 4 of my parents and nobody else.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, our son and his friends are idiots.
So who's ready to talk
No,
about
and like all 4 of them are gonna be like, they totally got really high before they did this, and be like, no, actually we
We were sober.
Well, I mean like,
You're sober. That's juice.
it's
Yeah,
4%.
drinking juice.
You're drinking juice.
I'm trying to convince my friend to get a couple of beehives for his backyard,
Yeah.
Oh.
I've heard.
do some urban beekeeping, and then make some mead.
Yeah.
Alright,
That's
so
what we-
either we need to turn the back 40 on the other side of the Garden Peninsula
Into wilds.
into a vegetable greenhouse
Yeah.
or an apiary.
Let's do both.
Hey,
Both?
why not?
Vegetable apiary.
Vegetable apiary.
Or an apiary.
Why are we
yes.
talking about apes?
We want to use their strength because if we were as strong proportionally as they were, we could have dug that pit in 2 hours, and so we're just gonna harness them. Don't ask me what harness means yet.
So we're breeding bee apes.
It's gonna be. Damn it! Now this has to be deleted.
And it's gonna be fucking, it's gonna be a nightmare, the likes of which the Wizard of Oz could never have imagined.
Yeah. It's for a good cause, though.
You guys were playing this slow motion, and I got to watch Colin just laugh himself in slow motion. It was glorious.
Good.
Especially with the knee slaps.
Who's ready to tell us about your story, about your what happened?
I mean,
as much as you're willing to share.
I don't know. I don't know how we're all meeting each other, but like I'm.
We're going to assume that you know each other well enough to be going into dangerous places together and trusting that the other person's not going to immediately stab you in the back.
Knowing that we are people we can rely upon who are capable and able to help you.
I just want to bribe this guy to leave. I just want him to leave me alone, man. And I'm at the point where I'm willing to either bribe them. Yeah, I'm at the point to like bribe them because killing them is just gonna put me on the wrong side of the law. I missed. Fuck.
Okay.
I was about to clap with my phone. And I'm like, this thing's beat up. I don't need to.
You tell us about this. So, are you going with the? Which of the prompts are you going with? You're lucky enough to have 4.
What do you mean? Completion, fulfillment?
No, those are your keywords. The prompts, the story, like the little background information.
Oh.
Because those were like to give you a little idea of,
I mean, I'm definitely like the first one where it's I got bored of my former life and it was time to start something new, which fits in perfectly. Which I was once an indebted butcher and now I'm a sorcerer.
My question for you, Colin, is what form of butchery did you specialize in? Was it because I know your skill is slaughter and seemingly
no, my skill.
Your skill is slaughter. Now, was it animals that you were killing and butchering, or were you brutalizing?
Yeah, was I a merc?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's 0-2.
You'll learn how to use the slapstick clapper someday.
Yeah. See, I want to bribe this guy to leave me alone, and it makes sense that this dude is like sort of a sheriff deputy, and like he might be like overly lawful good, and is like, this person needs to go to justice. I'm like, dude, I'm done. Like, I quit that life. I paid off my debts. Stop bothering me. And they're still hell-bent on like, I was formerly a merc and I did some bad shit, but like I have atoned for that personally and with those other people, and like, listen, it wasn't personal, it was all part of the job, and now I'm done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Man, ears are really weird if you look at them too
long. Thank you for that observation, Harris.
Oh man.
Oh.
We got it on recording that we're not all really high, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just wanted to be clear on that. Hamith?
I'm just a slug.
Would you?
All.
Oh.
He's fallen prey to the tism blanket, dude.
Would you wanna?
So I think, man, I don't know, like this 12 hard candies that I have. I don't know why, but I just feel the need to like work that into my story. And I think what it is I think they're poison.
Okay.
And fucking Lord Hafir did not like the fact that I had a wife because he wanted my wife. And
those people want your wife too.
yeah.
She's an amazingly brilliant lady.
Hey Rick,
He decided to murder my wife.
I have a box of wood puzzles now if you want to dick around with them. One
You
of
may
them,
dick around with your wood puzzles, Colin.
Yeah.
Is that literally the sentence
Yeah.
you gave to me?
one
fuck with your wood.
of them
We'll
is
see.
broken and I need to glue this back
So,
together and then sand it
Okay.
so that it's...
My wife
still
is
fits,
dead
but-
and I want to fucking kill Lord Hafir. So I used my skills as a former soldier, which is why I have all these fucking spears and clubs and a skinning knife.
And
That's
a
what I'm
helmet.
missing.
And a nice helmet.
And a club. I have a skinning knife and a winter wolf pelt.
Ooh.
I forgot that.
Oh, does everybody have combat items, or are you choosing not to engage in combat?
I wasn't given any combat items as part of my generation, so no, I don't have any.
Okay.
Dude, I've got 4 fucking burden to start.
I gotta roll my ritual.
Yeah, I have. Wait. Burden or ruin?
Burden. And I've got 1 ruin.
I have 4 ruin because I took 3 spells.
I'm probably gonna do that too. We'll see what my spells.
So yeah, I'm out to like start a militia, a separatist militia, and
Harris is-
kill some people.
Harris is loaded for bear right now.
Literally, with the pelts and the skinning knife.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Put that back in the pool.
All right, Rick, do you want to share yours?
Yes, give me a second. I'm figuring out what my rituals are right now.
I don't know if my
Okay.
person is gonna have combat, like martial weapons. Like I wonder if I can just use them purely as a caster. Ryan, how would that work?
The rules as written are you need to have combat items in order to participate in combat. If you do not have combat items, you cannot participate in combat.
Okay.
The other kind of justification is that they use the word ritual very intentionally. So rituals are not things that you can do quickly. It's not like, D&D style
Yeah.
magic where it's like a flick of the wrist and a quick incantation and all of a
I
sudden
can't
you've
just
got...
snap and point. And
Yeah,
magic.
it's like, it's a ritual. I don't know, maybe your rituals involve a lot of pig's blood.
Something.
Because you were a butcher. I have no idea, but drawing a ritual circle and lighting candles
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and getting incense going, etc., etc.
All right. Well then, I'm going to take some weapons then.
Okay, great. So the rituals I have are Bewitch, Hollow, and Sleep. So Bewitch is, if given a gift, a person or animal will follow a simple command. Hollow is push a spirit from its own body. And Sleep, send a person or animal into a deep slumber.
I like Hollow.
Yeah. That's the one that I like.
Actually, they all sound cool.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe I'll only do 2, and then they're all really, really dope.
Dude, so my spells are Bind, which holds a person or animal in place. I have Darkness, which a living shadow snuffs out all natural and magical light nearby. And Drain, which remove water from a person or animal.
Holy shit.
Ryan, is there like a weapons table, or can I just like say some stuff?
You can just say some stuff.
I'm gonna take a quarterstaff, and then I want like can I have a recurve bow, or would just like a long bow with a quiver of arrows work?
Either. They both will increase your burden by 1, so 1 per combat item.
Given that
Also,
the generator can
remember... Sorry?
No, go for it.
Don't forget armor. Armor you can mark in order to avoid taking ruin. And you avoid all ruin that you would take in that moment. So if it's a combat roll and you would take 3 ruin, you can mark your armor to ignore all 3 of that ruin.
Actually,
I wonder if I have armor.
I'm not gonna take Sleep. I'm just gonna take Bewitch and Hollow. I think those are the 2 that have the most juice to them.
It might just be like in like some leather.
Yeah.
Or like
But as the character generator can generate weapons and armor, and mine gave me none, I got none.
Okay. That does not preclude finding stuff on the road as well, should you choose to pick it up.
Correct.
Ryan, to keep it generic, I'm just gonna say a bow and arrows.
Sure.
Beautiful.
And
However you want to color it and flavor it, I am good with that.
And then
Laser gun? Can I get laser gun?
Yep.
and
Fuck
then Ryan, tell me how the armor.
The wizard racier
Yeah.
created a very strange bow that fired ether.
Tell me how the armor works again.
So each piece of armor can let you avoid taking ruin once.
Okay.
So if you're about to take ruin from a risk roll or a combat roll, you can be like, I'm going to mark my pauldron it doesn't really matter what it is.
Yeah.
Your pauldron is marked. You don't take ruin on that turn or in that moment, and you cannot use the pauldrons as armor until you get them repaired
Okay.
or whatever your armor is.
So I guess I'll just
And
have
that costs-
since
Sorry?
I have a bow and arrow, I guess just like the bracers, of
Sure, yeah.
protecting your forearms from the fletching on a.
Dope.
Yep. Perfect.
So
That works.
Ifari, they used to be the leader of a religious group, a cult group even, and they were preparing for what, they were preparing for like whatever their large ritual was for their god. Let's see. The god of, let's say legs. God of legs. And unfortunately,
Okay.
And she knows how to
unfortunately, some other people within the group got corrupted by a separate god. And the ritual that they were preparing for, she had
The god of
seen that it was
arms.
going to go wrong. And she was warning them and trying to tell them to change it, to go against the other. But they kept insisting that it was already going on for too long. And unfortunately, as a result, almost the entirety of her religious community died. The ritual was successfully spiked and sabotaged by that other group, other being. And but now society more or less considers them an out. They cast at that moment. They cast they once they tried to re-enter society and realized that they were not going to be accepted in any way whatsoever. That's when they cast off their name and their previous identity, becoming Ifari and not even ascribing to any of their identifiers they had before, and trying to live as much as they can outside of society, outside of humans. Thus, why they are now a shaman, as they are feeling this deep, intense connection with nature because it feels more comforting than humans. But they can see that, people still know that they can see and they're powerful. So I think people will come to them, but they don't. They don't like to. They don't, because they feel something is off and wrong because the way that this person discerns things doesn't seem how it is expected, and so. But yeah, their equipment. They have a journal with black and invisible inks, 6 uses of grease, dice, 6 normal and 3 trick. I think the 3 trick dice, they're not actually like, there's nothing different weighted about them, but those are just the dice that Ifari knows exactly what face they're going to land on before they roll them, just due to the nature of who they are. And so they have 3 dice they can always perfectly predict, and then the other 6 they can't.
So,
yeah.
My equipment. Oh wait, so I add burden for each armor and weapon that I take, correct?
Yes, each piece of equipment adds 1 burden.
Fuck, I'm at 4.
Same here, bud. Yep.
As I said, like I learned from our first game, I need to be more generous with
Rationing.
Gold.
gold. And also, like, you can find gold. Or like, you can find stuff. Like the last session when you were in the vault.
Yeah.
If you had taken other treasures, you wouldn't have to spend a token to do that. You could just be like, there's a treasure on the shelf. I pick it up and I walk out with it.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of valuable stuff in here. I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Yeah. So I have 24... I'm not joking. Well, I don't know if this is a type... Like, 24 feet of chain?
Yeah.
That's a lot of chain. I have manacles, and I have a wooden labyrinth game. I'm just imagining, like, you know that game where you have the two knobs and it's the surface
Yeah.
and you put the ball bearing on it and you got to get it to the thing? I have one of those, I guess.
You're a man.
For some reason.
You're a man all about traps.
I
Right,
guess.
I'm just gonna refill my drink and then we can get going.
Sounds delightful.
Alright.
Alright, give me a second.
I have Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer stuck in my head.
Can you turn the flippers? Can you turn the other way? Where?
I like how you humored that, even though it was clearly going there.
See, I didn't really know where Rick was going with that. Because I am still so naive that, like, there may have been something on my face. Like, on my person of, like, Colin, you either have, like, food in your hair, or there's a bug, or you still have dirt on you.
I love you very much.
It's like I'm still picking tree sap from pine out of my leg hair. That's fun.
Dude, pine sap sucks so much.
Oh wait, Rick, if you're taking bowls...
Yeah. Oh, y'all are still here. Oh fuck, Ryan's back. Sorry, Ryan.
All four of those can just go in the...
Sakes.
I'm putting them in the sink right now, man.
You know what? Let's just take this back in the kitchen.
I miss having a dishwasher.
I will say it's pretty nice. We didn't really use it much until Rick moved in, just because we didn't generate enough dishes.
Yeah.
But now that he moved in and we're all stuck here all the time, we generate enough for it to be worth it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like when it's useful, it's really useful.
Yeah. I cleared out the fridge today, just like getting rid of old food that's just been sitting there for ages because the fridge was getting real full because we've been stocking up a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I've been trying to do groceries like once every 2 weeks.
Yep.
And so it's like beginning of the 2 weeks we have lots of fresh fruit and vegetables, and then by the end it's like it's the canned stuff or root vegetables because they last forever.
Yeah. Root vegetables, baby. Those beans that we were eating have been in the cupboard since the beginning of November.
Yeah.
But they're great.
Were they dried beans?
Yeah.
Or canned?
Dried.
Well, those, I mean, no moisture. They won't go bad.
Yeah.
I would say they
Definitely.
won't rot. I mean, I guess pests can still eat them, but...
Well, yeah. But hey, that's why we got Samson. But yeah, they're definitely... Like, I had never actually used dried beans for cooking until, like, maybe late January, early February. And they're definitely... They have better texture and flavor than canned. So it's kind of...
Try that.
It's kind of a thing to, like, get them ready, but worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it takes a little bit more forethought to soak the beans, but not that much more realistically.
Yeah. It made a wildly significant difference.
Yeah, I did. So the first time I made this like bean casserole thing, I did the quick soak method, which is what you do is you boil them for like 3 minutes, and then like a nice rolling boil, and then I'm good.
Colin, can you just hold it up to the camera so I can pretend?
Here, I have spicy dark chocolate.
Thank you.
There you go.
Got yourself a little 93% dark chocolate there.
It's not
I'm
spicy.
only
in the forefront.
75%.
It's spicy on the back of your tongue for your taste imaginations.
So the quick method is you boil them and like a real rolling boil for 3 full minutes, and then turn off the heat, cover it, and then you just let them sit for an hour. But I did learn last night from the Bean Institute of America, which is the Bean Farmers Lobby, that apparently that is actually preferable to an overnight cold soak, but you have to let them sit for 4 hours, not 1.
Mm.
So I'll try
Thank
it
you for
again.
your tutelage.
Yeah. So who knows?
Don't thank him, thank the Bean Institute.
Yeah.
I know. Tutelage.
Those.
All right, we ready to
Yeah.
to do this?
Yes.
This game.
So,
We're only like an hour behind schedule.
Time means nothing.
Time is a flat circle.
the followers of the Waking Eye were once well known and quite powerful. They held sway over many places in the world, but as with so many things, as time passed, their numbers dwindled, and they faded into obscurity. Now, people like you know of them only through myths and fables, stories about the strange old people that did peculiar things in the woods. In particular here, known for their rituals where they would praise topaz. Not the stone itself, but it was used prominently in their architecture. Old artifacts that people claim to be from followers of the Waking Eye often have topaz or that kind of brilliant lightning yellow. Nobody has seen or heard from any follower in many, many, many years. At this point, they're almost more myth than reality. However, you heard rumor of a temple in the woods that had only recently been discovered, very, very recently. And as we all know, old temples often have old treasures. And old treasures mean gold.
Yeah.
New payments.
And so you have all set off for your individual reasons to try and explore the ruins, try and find these ruins in the Daylight Woods, where it is rumored that they exist.
Mm.
How did you travel to the Daylight Woods?
Did we walk or take beast of burden?
I think. That's a good question.
Okay. If no one else is answering,
I think we. Because if we took
I like
beasts
an idea.
for a certain amount of time, but then the woods were so thick that you cannot take
that's
beasts of burden.
why I suggest ostriches.
All right.
We are riding they're larger than ostriches normally are, but they are the kind of mount which is designed for this sort of area, because the forest does start to get a little dense, and so horses would have a harder time moving through some of the paths, and
I guess being bipedal and probably native to the woods.
Yeah.
Or native to wooded area.
Yes.
Not
We need to get an
woods.
electric
Yeah,
fence water.
yeah. They're just significantly ideal choices for these mounts, and so I think we're on some of those right now.
I'm thinking the Chocobos from Final Fantasy.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I've just been thinking a lot about big birds, man.
What's
Rick's first soda
one-
is a bird.
What's one exciting thing you saw on the road? One memorable thing, not necessarily exciting, but one memorable thing.
We saw a moon orchid, which is a really, really, really fucking rare flower that only blooms during lunar eclipses.
Oh, and there haven't been any lunar eclipses for a very, 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 very long time.
This lunar eclipse certainly portends something. I had a set for the woods, but given the time and the fact it's already 10 o'clock, I'm going to skip that one. Does that sound good with you guys?
Sounds good.
So you have...
No, it's like 10
Okay.
to 10 right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Unless Ryan's clock is 20 minutes ahead.
I have 9:52.
Anyway.
That's what we have as well.
So let's skip through the
The woods.
woods.
Do you want to give us like a short little summary, since you prepared something for it?
Or you could keep it.
I prepared a total of 15 words.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
then let's just, you know what, save it for another day.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah. You trek through these woods, and it's often like nobody has really shared where this location is. You heard it through rumor that this thing exists, but you actually managed to follow some fairly fresh trails in the woods, and you come to this clearing. Not a natural clearing. This was clearly made by people, and you find a few buildings. You almost want to call it a village, but it's not quite.
Do you want the last one?
And you see this old and overgrown temple. These statues on the outside with sleepy eyes. And the temple itself climbs surprisingly high into the sky, clearly breaking the canopy of the woods. So you have, at this point, there are two sets you can go and visit. There is the temple itself and the village surrounding. But it's entirely up to you which one you'd like to go to.
I like the temple.
Me too.
Temple.
I have spent enough time around people to know that their secrets are boring.
Likewise.
The path toward the temple is it's a tree-lined path. These old stone fruit trees, kind of gnarled and twisted. And at the end of the path, you see a person standing, looking up at the temple. The way into the temple is rough but open.
Okay. I'm not really gonna get their attention, especially if they don't see us coming.
Yes, this person's back is turned to you, and they have something like almost like a wheelbarrow.
Mm. Do they have any noticeable equipment strapped onto them that could give us an idea other than this wheelbarrow?
They have a great sword on their back.
Okay.
So there's
And they have basic armor.
okay. They are someone prepared.
But the great sword, you can see nicks in the blade and spots of rust.
are someone who was prepared for a fight. Are they still? Do we want to know?
I don't want to fight them regardless.
Me neither. What can I do? You have those.
As an aside, like out of game,
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to fight this person just because, like, these are not our regular characters, and I kind of want to just like throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Well,
I
don't think even the characters that I put into the daycare of the last Trophy Gold were like regular characters. I was fully prepared to just
I mean,
reroll.
Trophy Gold is really good at throwing those, like, driving these characters like they are your friend's car.
Wait, I take really good care of my friend's car. You mean like drive it like you stole it kind of deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like if I was driving Rick's Bug, I would
Yeah,
really,
I take care of my friend's car.
I would really try to do my damnedest to not burn out the clutch on that thing.
Yeah,
because it's a manual.
not without a significant amount of lesson and learning time would I allow you to take that vehicle on
Right.
your own.
Alright, let's go with what you said, Colin. Drive it like you stole it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, they're meant to just go. Be hot. Well, do we want to know why he's here, or do we want to just proceed?
I guess we're all assuming that we're out of earshot of this person as we're walking up.
Of
and
course
they
we are
can't
out of
hear us.
earshot of them.
I mean, I could just call out to them.
Exactly. Would you like to do that, or would we like to just walk?
We can always openly discuss hostility against said person within earshot of them and see what happens.
That is an option. If that is where the conversation goes, I will pull back from conversation.
Harris, what's your person's name again?
Rase.
Rese.
R-A-S-E-I.
Rese. And then I am Inda. I don't know, Rese. You think we can take him?
Yeah, but let's see what the deal is first.
Alright. I'm cool with that. I didn't really want to fight him anyway.
So let's. Okay, if we're going to see what his deal is about, hello!
Ah! Travelers, well met.
Oh, great. It's one of these types.
Yes. These are always fun.
Fucking excitable.
I
I wonder-
see that you have braved the woods. You must be passably strong, though I see it took 3 of you and just 1 of me.
Guys, do you think this is his first temple, or? He says that like in front of this guy, like while like
No,
he's
totally.
like-
And then I'm gonna be like, I don't know about his first temple. Maybe his second.
Yeah, you can always get lucky.
Okay.
I admit this is my first temple of this sort, but I come with reason.
Yes.
You see, and he
I
steps
remember
aside.
my
and
first beer.
inside the small wheelbarrow of the carriage, there is another person.
Is there
He
someone
says-
going for a wheelbarrow ride?
Well, my lover here, he has fallen into a great slumber. And I am here to prove my strength and have him restored.
Okay. Why does he sleep? What? How you going into a temple? How was that? Was it a curse or?
Oh, yes. You ask intelligent questions. I can see great potential in somebody like you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, as you can see, my lover, Rayo, has fallen into a mystical slumber, as it were. Something that is not created by mundane means. And the only way to break such a curse is to come to a place of great power such as this.
Ah.
And what, may I ask, brings the three of you to this place?
Money.
Well,
Money, money, money.
Ah,
it's a little more complicated than
Give me that
just
shiny
that,
Skrilla.
but unfortunately, money is the thing standing in between me and what it is that I need. So in a sense,
Yes.
I have
Yes.
I have a more noble goal, but the path to that more noble goal is funds.
It's money. It's
It's
money.
funding.
It's money. It's money. You want something
money
very
can control
good?
many aspects of our life.
Yeah,
And I look at the three of you, and
it's money.
you know what? There's no need to ask. I agree. I will happily take you three on as pupils.
Excuse you?
No, you. No,
Uh,
your eyes are good. You have your pupils.
No. Misunderstanding. But as you can see,
Your eyes are,
do you not recognize me?
no.
I mean, are you some sort of scholar? Are you?
No. I am.
Can you
Blaine
describe
the
this guy
Mighty.
again?
He's just
He's got a great sword. He has like a
rusted
wheelbarrow
armor.
in front of him, and his,
rusted, nicked
Uh,
greatsword.
you speak of Ewan, my blade, my companion. We have slain many foe
Okay.
with just a glance.
they're afraid of the gay.
No. I do not think that you kill with your eyes. If you kill with your eyes, then you have less need of us as pupils. Your eyes are very good.
No. Sorry. I agreed to take you on as my apprentices.
Oh, no, thank you.
Teach you the ways of fighting and journeying.
Oh no. I'm good.
I mean, we're pretty capable already.
I don't do one of those.
Oh yes, I don't take on individuals who are not capable. But I see the potential in you, all three of you.
Okay. Well, good. I'm not just invaluable. I am incapable.
Inda is amused and is like, you know what? Like, internally, out of game moose, internally, Inda's just like, you know what? I'm gonna tag along with this guy. Seems fun. Also, Ryan, I want you to know that I'm wearing my shirt that Harris bought his opossum, the same company,
But it's a shirt. It's good.
and my shirt says, well,
It's a UFO dragging someone up in a tractor beam.
right? And my shirt says, "Get in, loser. We're doing butt stuff," which is hilariously auspicious because
Of the lovers.
two gay lovers, and one of them is in a deep sleep.
So, I think Rase really just thinks that like it might be interesting to watch this person die a horrible death.
Holy shit, Rase!
doesn't like want it, but like it might be amusing for a little bit.
Gotta stay awake. Well, that's minimal force. I tried.
Bye, Amber.
What's minimal force?
Amber, before she went to sleep at 8 o'clock, said that I was supposed to try and keep her up with a minimal force. So I needed to know what minimal force was, so I shook my booty in front of her, and she said that was more than minimal force.
Fair?
So I tried, and she said no, she's going back to sleep.
Okay.
Um,
There's something I was gonna say. His name Hector the Great. Right, what's his name?
Blaine.
Blaine the Great.
who is this?
The hero guy. The guy who wants to take us on as a student.
Blaine the Great.
Blaine's a pain, and that's the truth.
That's and
Ryan, this might be more effort than Amber wants, but you can just blow a raspberry on her stomach. That'll keep you awake.
It'll keep me in the hospital, too.
Just come in and...
Nah, she'll be fine.
Blaine, stay away from a yellow rock on the left bank of a river. It'd be very bad for you.
What?
Stay away from the yellow rock on the left bank of a river.
Interesting advice. I haven't heard that one before, but
That's 'cause it's
I
just for
assure
you.
you, I've heard many, many adages about safety and preparedness in my time.
No, you will die. This is just for you. This is just for you. This is your future. Stay away from yellow rock on left bank of river. You die. Stay away. Easy.
Also, don't eat the yellow snow.
Ah, well, that's some common sense.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe just disappointed.
Right, what is your character's name again?
Ifari.
Ifari. But Ifari, how do you know which bank of the river is the left side?
Oh, you know.
Yes, so any adventurer would be able to tell such a thing, and if you spend more time with me under my tutelage, you will too understand how to discern such things. Just like the battle of the 7 roses that I fought in. All 7 fell before me, one after the other, dropping their petals like the pathetic fools that they were. They all fell to you and my trusty companion.
Your blade?
Yes, Ewan.
Why
He
do
gives the blade a little kiss.
When's your last fight?
My last fight, well, a true warrior never draws his blade unnecessarily.
Okay.
So you might say you're a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
But a true warrior never forgets the way of battle. That is the warrior's truth. Well, and as I say, as my pupils, you will learn these things.
Memories fade. Muscle withers.
He's actually
dim.
he's not super old.
Yeah.
He is about your age, but he's got kind of like these sloping shoulders and these arms that look just a little bit skinnier than they ought to be. He's kind of, you get a very milk toasty kind of impression.
Love it.
I think this is enough dawdling. Can we just go into the temple now?
We are going to go into the temple.
Yes.
If
I
you would
will
like to
allow
tell
you
us
to
things.
enter first so you can truly start to understand what it's like to explore the unknown. So go ahead.
Yes, you can walk behind us and say things. That's okay.
Oh yes, I will gladly teach you as I watch your form.
Okay, but when she says stop talking, you stop talking.
I will stop when it's necessary.
No. I stop talking when she says stop talking. You stop talking when she says stop talking.
Very well. If we need to concentrate, I wouldn't want to interrupt you. That would not be fair of me as your teacher.
Oh no, because if I don't stop talking when she says stop talking, someone die.
It's true, you can die if you are not paying attention.
Ryan, is it cost more ruin? Does it cost more ruin or more burden if I also have just like a water skin or a wine skin on me and I'm like,
No, it is definitely assumed that you have a water skin because you're traveling. You would be fools not to.
All right.
You know, I'm gonna offer our new friend. I use that term advisedly. I'm gonna offer our new friend a hard candy.
Is it poison? Is that what you said before?
No, that was just kind of spitballing. But I'm hoping that it'll keep his mouth occupied for a moment.
A present for your teacher. I can see you're already quite dedicated.
It's like giving a dog peanut butter, so he says...
What? Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
So you entered the temple, which is your first set. And the goal of the temple interior is to find your way to the altar room.
Okay.
However, there are opportunities to learn more about the temple and more about what these people did.
Yes.
Inside the temple, There are a few places of note that are worth exploring. The first is the library is a kind of it's a liberal use of the term, but it is a place that holds some books, some writing.
It's a place where collected words live, but library seems expansive, huh?
Yes. There is also the I've lost.
Oh no.
And we lost Ryan, too. There we go.
You lost it, we lost you.
So there's a library. There's ish. What else?
There's also an atrium,
Okay.
which is where they would have, or a cloister might be a better term,
Okay.
like a little courtyard. So those are the two most notable places.
Okay.
Well, I like it to be outside when inside.
Do you want to go check out that cloister over there?
Yes.
Like, I'm imagining in my mind's eye that, like, it's like walking into a very well-built cathedral, and you can kind of see, like, through the windows, or, well, this is a ruined temple, so where there were once windows,
Mm-hmm.
then there's, like, clearly a cloister or courtyard some distance away, but it's, like, still visible line of sight to the entrance.
That is exactly what you see.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. Cool.
I am in agreement with Rick's person. Ifari.
Outside, inside is good side.
Let's go check it out.
So as you're walking, you hear from behind you just like, and the dragging of the cart. In the cloister, you find this courtyard opens up, and like through the ruins and the rubble, you're able to pick your way through, and there is still standing a statue, and it's a person lying down on their side, and with their eyes kind of half open. And the rest of the courtyard itself is overgrown. There are lots of thick bushes and shrubs that have taken over what was clearly once a well-manicured lawn. A couple of the doorways back into the large temple have crumbled and fallen away, but you could always climb through a window, because just as Colin said, there's no more glass.
Yeah.
But the statue is the most notable thing in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me.
So,
I want to see
I have a fun idea. I got this spell, Bewitch. You got hard candies, right? This is a cloister.
Yeah.
Gonna be ants. Bewitch lets me, after giving a person or animal a gift, they will follow a simple command. I have a fun idea for how to use this spell, because ants are gonna want a hard candy all crushed up nice, take back to the hive, right?
Yep.
So I just would like the reminder one more time on how, because I think what basically I want to end up doing is getting some of this crushed up and then finding where the ants are, getting on down, and using Bewitch basically. Hello, my friends. Accept this and show me what I am missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how many hard candies do you want, baby?
rituals are always a risk roll.
Yep.
So you get one light die for a skill or piece of equipment or part of the environment that you're leveraging.
Yeah. I mean, we've got all sorts of stuff that works here. So.
I think the hard candy is kind of perfect. So that's one light die for that. And then we open up to Devil's Bargains.
Yeah. What sounds fun, boys?
I don't have a devil's bargain for you, bud. I don't have a devil's bargain for you.
So, Rick, what are you trying to do?
I am giving some ants some candy to get them to show us what we are missing.
Oh, in this cloister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've got powers of like spirits, animals, rituals, and omens, and so.
Okay. Because I have alchemy, ritual.
Yeah. But what sort of devil's bargains do you have in this moment for me trying
So
to
just
give ants
a
gift?
reminder for a good devil's bargain. Let me scroll down to that page.
Yeah.
The devil's bargain is something that is guaranteed to happen after the roll. So it can't be something that negates the possible success. So
Right.
it has to be
But
successful
it's
casting
something
of the
that
ritual.
happens also.
Yeah.
Like they could demand more of the candy, because maybe one isn't enough or something like that.
Yeah, so causing collateral damage or unintended harm, getting lost or separated from your companions, sacrificing an item or piece of treasure, betraying a fellow treasure hunter, or attracting the attention of monsters or other creatures.
I wonder if there's something else in this place that likes hard candy that we don't want to.
Okay. So, I like that. So
Yeah.
there's something
Sounds
else
good.
in this place that would like the hard candy that now knows hard candy is here.
There's something in this. Let's say that there's something in this temple that is baleful and really wants that hard candy. And as soon as we get that hard candy out, it's aware, and it's like, oh,
That's the DB. That's the DB.
Yep.
Any
Are
other?
you accepting that?
Oh yeah, 100%. Let's
Okay.
get this.
Because this is a ritual, you have to take a dark die.
Yep.
So give him a roll. 3 dice.
oh.
See, I have a 6, a 1, and a 5. So 6.
Is this 6 on your ruin die? Or
No,
on
the
the
6
dark
is
die?
not on my ruin die. My dark die is a 1. So
Perfect.
about as good as that could have gone.
By the
So,
way, I'm really proud of myself.
What does your ritual look like? How do you go about casting a ritual?
So I think for this one looks different than Hollow, because Hollow is about like forcing a spirit out. This one, specifically for ants, it's like
I'm proud of myself.
it's the way that the words are said and the way that like the actions are going. It's like to a person, it almost like looks hypnotic, right, and feels a little hypnotic because I'm giving them a gift and then they're following simple commands, and so it has that. But there's a little bit more weight and feel to it. And with animals, what ends up happening is that he's still speaking they are still speaking what sounds like to them as like their normal, like common English, whatever it is, right? But what comes out of his mouth is whatever sound is appropriate and applicable to these ants. So in this moment, he's like, they're crouched over the ground with this hard candy crushed up over an ant hive. And as they're speaking, the ants' antennae are sort of like mimicking the movements of their hands and their body and things like that. And they're having this terrible, terrible sound come out of their mouth. Because the sounds an ant would make scaled up very big. I mean, I know, yes, the ants don't really communicate with sound, but that's just how the magic works out. Most of the communication he's doing is actually being done with his hands, but they don't know that. Ifari doesn't know that that's how it's working for them. But and after they finish this ritual, the ants gobble up, like, portion away what they can, and then slowly get to work at revealing that which secrets that they know we don't.
So they create a train, just like ants would typically do when they're leading other ants to food that they found, and they march up and around the statue, and you slowly follow them as they work their way up and around the kind of broken bits of the plinth. And then on the statue, they just start circling the head. of the statue.
Okay.
Okay.
Ant crown. Let's get to town.
So as you're investigating, you hear footsteps from inside the temple. And for just a second, who's not looking at the ants and what they're doing and what Ifadi is doing?
Blaine.
Which one of you three?
I imagine Blaine is actually
we'll go with Blaine. Blaine says, my pupils, did you happen to see this entity walking through the hallways?
No.
I've been watching all these tiny entities walking up the
Yes. Well, this is a part of your training, you see. You must always be aware of your surroundings. That is the Warrior's Code number 7. Always be aware of your surroundings.
It seems like pretty low on the list for how important that is.
The first 6 are all about mental preparedness within your own spirit. Number 7 is when we start talking about the external world.
All right. Well, if someone's coming, you should have just said that.
How aware do you want us to be?
Well, you can never be too aware.
So, aware of everything all the time?
Yes, you should open your awareness up to the universe.
Are you
Don't
aware
let
of
any
everything
foe
all the
sneak
time?
up on you unawares.
Are you aware of everything all the time?
Oh, of course,
Oh.
I must be. This is why I am your teacher.
Which toe I'm missing?
These trivialities have nothing to do with your training. There was something in the window, and that's where we must focus our
No.
attention right now.
That's not true. If we do fighting, I have toe that missing. I'm foot and stable less that side is advantage. Which toe I'm missing?
There was something in the window, and I would like to draw your attention. And he points to a direction.
I snatch a glance that way because I have been sufficiently distracted from the ants doing ant stuff.
I'm not missing toe.
Could be useful if you got stabbed in the foot, though. If it just cut into the slot.
So you're looking over there. What are you looking for, Colin?
Looking for
Or I guess
trouble.
I should say, what is Inda looking for?
Well, I mean, what's this guy's name? Blaine?
Blaine.
Mm-hmm.
Blaine just pointed out that someone else is in this temple besides the 4.5 of us. So now I'm catching a glimpse in the window that he indicated to see, like, if I see someone else sneaking up on us and if I need to draw a weapon.
All right, let's call it a hunt roll.
Yeah.
You get 1 die automatically, and if you have a skill or a piece of equipment or some other thing that gives you an advantage, you can take a second light die.
So 1 light die. I mean, I have a bow and arrow, so I don't think that it doesn't really give me an advantage towards searching. Okay.
What are your skills again?
Skills are alchemy, rituals, and symbols.
Yeah.
Okay. Rolling the light die. Got a 3.
What?
I don't know what the criteria are on die anymore, so...
6, full success. You get exactly what you were looking for. 4 or 5, you get what you want, but there's some kind of complication. So you get what you want, but maybe not in the way you want it, or there's some other badness that happens.
Yeah.
And 1 to 3 is, 2 and 3, because this is a hunt roll, so you get no tokens, and you encounter something terrible is the rules as written.
Okay.
So you get no tokens, and you encounter something terrible. As you're looking around, describe your search. Is it just looking, or are you moving around and investigating?
I guess I kind of tuned out of the conversation about a missing toe. And
Especially because you've seen Ifari's feet, they're not missing any toes.
yeah, if anything, Afari has an extra toe on one of his feet. Their feet.
It's not Ifari's toe.
And so I kind of just tuned out of that conversation when Blaine said, "Hey, I saw someone else, and I've taken my bow and I've knocked an arrow, and I just kind of like have it low ready, right? Like not like out ready to shoot, but like down across my person, like low and ready, and I'm just like looking through the windows." There's no glass anymore, but like I'm just kind of like, huh, what's going on over here?
So you
No,
look over there, and you...
Dope.
We can use Harris's objective corp.
Oh, even better. Dope. Sorry. Anyway. We got our tokens. We're figuring out tokens. We're good now. We're set.
Oh, okay. You look over there, and you don't see anything. And that's when you hear from behind you the sound of a sword being drawn.
Okay.
You're slightly away from the group, and so I think you've been isolated now. And from behind you, you hear the sword being drawn. The other three are closer to the statue, whereas you are closer to the western wall.
Okay. Do I get a... I don't know how reactions work.
Well, what do you do?
I mean, I'm gonna turn 180 degrees, bring up my arrow, and like, if I see a target, if I see a threat, I'm going to loose an arrow at it, and at the same time, I'm going to just yell out loud to no one in particular, "Contact!"
Ah.
So you turn and you see a great sword held up to your face. This blade is gleaming in the sunlight filtering through the trees. And, well, I guess the low growth. And you see someone who looks strikingly like Blaine, but the shoulders are a little bit broader, and the jaw just a little bit more square, and their sword is gleaming like sunlight.
So this is a younger version of Blaine, methinks.
Or something else.
Or a copy of Blaine.
Or Blaine is the copy. Or lots.
Lots of shit could be happening. It could be a hallucination. So yeah, Ryan, I turn 180 degrees and I'm gonna loose an arrow at this. So like combat?
Okay. Is your goal combat? Like, are you trying to destroy this thing, kill this thing, or are you trying to create an opening to it? Like, what is your primary goal?
I mean, is the sword that has been drawn in motion towards me, or are they still like coming at me to close the distance?
They are close enough to strike.
Okay, so then this is just an emergency loosing of an arrow, and like it's point blank. Like, hopefully I'm gonna hit them.
But nothing else, you're creating an advantageous situation where now they have an arrow flying at them to have to...
Yeah, like they have to either dodge this arrow or take it in striking me, and I'm loosing this arrow to like get my hands free and dodge.
Yeah.
So you're creating an opening for yourself. So that's more of a risk roll.
Yep.
So you get 1 die for any piece of equipment or skill that you have.
Yep.
And then Devil's Bargains?
So I have just 1 light die then?
Oh, we can offer you some DBs.
Devil's Bargains, okay.
Yeah.
Rick, can you hand me one of the Dove chocolates? I want to try one.
Let's see, what's a good DB?
Sea salt and caramel.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not a fan of like salted caramel chocolate.
It's hard to really think of a good DB in this spot.
I think a potential devil's bargain could be that you draw this arrow, knock it, and loose it, and it hits the dude, or at least is like traveling in such a way that it forces him to move, but in doing so, you actually snap your bowstring.
What, like my reactionary panic?
It could just be bad luck. I'm willing to say that you have another bowstring available, but you'll have to wait until you have a calm moment to restring your bow.
Okay.
Because I don't want to take out your bow entirely, because that's like you taking it is like the first thing that's happening.
Well,
so yeah. Your bowstring will snap, and you'll have to wait till a quiet moment.
Store. I'm the devil offering you a bargain.
There'll likely be.
Can I make myself a devil's bargain?
You can talk about it and we see if maybe we want to offer.
I want to know, Ryan, how are you imagining this person coming at me with the greatsword? Is it a overhand, over shoulder cleaving motion? Is it a side swipe? Is it?
I imagine like over the shoulder, it's like a coming down.
One of those. Okay.
A hack at you.
You fall down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
You fall down.
I loose the arrow and I go to dodge out of the way of the huge overhand cleave, but I send myself prone.
Yeah, I'm thinking too complicated. You fall down. That's.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what? 2 light die then?
You can roll a third light die if you
want your bowstring.
If you also want your bowstring to break.
I mean, you have other strings, so we just need to lull them.
I do, but I'd have to. I'm just gonna roll 2 light die, not 3.
Cool.
All right, and if you want, you can risk your body or mind and roll a dark die.
Okay, Harris.
It's just going with the lights. Hey, worked out.
I got a 6 and a 2.
6.
So I only ever need to know the highest result.
Okay.
6. What does it look like? How do you get out of the way of this?
I'm imagining like they swing at me overhand, and I loose the arrow, and it just, whether or not it hits them, up to interpretation, and I dodge opposite the swing, but I totally do a gainer, and belly flop onto the ground, and I'm gonna have to scramble to get back up.
The arrow hits them, but it plinks off of their armor. It doesn't penetrate.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to really target my shots to get in between the gaps in their armor or soft spots.
Yeah.
Or use something
they don't have a helmet, which is why you're able to see that it looks like Blaine, and the armor that they're wearing doesn't have any sleeves. It's just
it's a breastplate.
Yeah, that's the word. Thanks.
Curious. Okay.
Yep.
Dope.
So here's this thing, and it's aggressive and ready to come at you.
And
what would you like to do?
And you've shouted contact already.
I have shouted contact.
Blaine, go teach us! Teach us! Show us!
You can't see Blaine.
Oh.
You see,
where'd he go?
As you look around for him, you see his head duck behind the statue.
Teach us.
Go. I mean, Inda's scrambling back up to her feet, and then I'm gonna try to do a targeted arrow at their face.
So I'm gonna ask you to make a risk roll to get back to your feet safely.
Okay, so
because otherwise that devil's bargain was largely meaningless.
Right. So risk roll is
unless somebody else wants to do something.
Well,
can we see this? Where
yeah,
this is going?
Yeah, this is happening. When you hear contact, you can just turn and you see this happening. You're in kind of the center of the courtyard, and
I'm gonna throw my spear at the thing swinging at him.
So again, is this? Are you trying to enter combat? Are you trying to kill this thing, or are you
maybe.
just trying to?
Okay.
Sorry.
combat.
He wants to fight.
Okay. All right. If you're gonna fight, who else is joining in?
I'm not allowed. I have no combat equipment. You doing fighting, Kali?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I am engaged.
those two.
So,
So I'm
Ryan,
gonna
what
ask
constitutes
you, Colin. Before you can engage in combat, you're gonna have to make that risk roll to get up safely.
Yeah. What constitutes the risk roll? How many die?
So risk roll, you have to justify every die that you roll. So you get a light die if you can talk about like an environmental advantage you have or a piece of equipment. So for example, if Rasse is Rasse is doing something to distract Evil Blaine, that could be an environmental advantage.
I would like to during this time not do combat, but I have like a risk roll I'd like to make as part of a ritual, but we can come to that in a moment because I want to keep using my ants.
There's some.
Oh, wait until you get to the command I'd like to give them because it's supposed to be simple.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be simple. Anyway.
So yeah, if there's some kind of a skill that you have, a piece of equipment, or an environmental advantage you have, you get to roll one light die.
Okay.
I think during this time, I guess this is when I'd like to do my ritual to, give them, essentially open the opportunity for them to have a light die up for this combat. So what I'd like to do, actually before you get in this, can I have one more candy, please? This one. Thank you. And just bewitch again, and this time, my aunt's friends, get inside him.
Oh, they're like army ants.
I don't know what kind of ants they are, but I want those ants to be inside of him.
Okay, give me a risk roll for that because you're trying to do this quickly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. That's what I figured. So I've got the one light die for doing it, a black die because I'm doing a ritual.
Here's the tray.
What sort of DBs do we got, fellas?
They're not gonna know. Wait.
I don't know which him it is.
Yeah, that's
Aren't
what I
both
was
of you ladies?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Good point.
Ants don't
What's
know
that?
that though.
They don't know about sexual dimorphism in humans.
Yeah, ants don't know that
They
shit.
also don't know the difference between inside and outside of a thing that they're looking at, necessarily.
Yeah, but these ones do. It's part of the command.
Sorry, I
but
keep forgetting
sure,
that
yeah.
I'm a girl.
The ants are indiscriminate. I can take that DB.
Okay.
Got anything else for me? Sorry, all y'all are getting harried by ants. If I take that, do you want that? Do you want to get harried by ants? It might hinder your combat.
I mean, it beats taking a giant cleave from a greatsword.
We might make it easier to take a giant cleave from a greatsword.
I'm having second thoughts about this devil's bargain, guys.
It's okay. That's why I'm still considering it. I'm not sure. Colin, do you have one that you'd like to suggest?
Let me think.
They may also be kind of slow.
Get inside of
getting
him.
there. Ants are not exactly fast.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of them. I could go with that. It's not going to happen immediately. Like, it's something that's going to occur soon. Whenever deemed appropriate.
Okay,
I can
let's go with that. Let's go with that. Ants are slow.
You have anything else? You can give me more. You got any more consequences?
If the ants get inside of Evil Blaine, he's more aggressive. Like, the ants enrage him because it's bothering him and he's like, fuck these ants.
So these ants make him more, like, brutal and
More
reckless?
formidable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I would say, Ryan, I don't know if this would work. Like, hits harder but with less accuracy.
Because that's the idea of the ants is to, make it more
I will-
difficult.
up his endurance by 1.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a good DB. Can I get a yellow die, please? Thank you. So I've got black die for doing magic. My 1 for the skill, and then or the item, and then my 2 DBs.
Yep.
Trey's over here if you want to.
Okay, I have a 5 is my highest die, and it is not on my dark die.
So success with a complication.
Yes.
The ants take your candy, but you feel the connection to them snap. So you know that this is the last command you will be able to give these ants.
That sounds fair. Yep, that's... Well, they...
And they scurry over, and they don't know who's who, and so they just kind of climb up and into Inda's clothing.
Oh, I didn't take that DB. I took the
Ants are slow.
answer slow.
So it'll happen, but
it ups its endurance. Yeah, I didn't take the indiscriminate one because I thought that would be too much of a consequence. But it's
Okay.
They will get there when narratively appropriate, as determined by you,
Okay.
because they are slow, and and it ups his endurance by 1. So that's the help I got for y'all in this fight,
He
fellas.
sees them coming because they're coming as a herd. They're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I am going to up the endurance by 1, but the ants are not.
Yeah. I figured they'll get there when it makes narrative sense for them to get there.
But seeing this herd coming at him gives him just a moment of pause, and that's enough time for Inda to get back on her feet.
Okay.
so yeah,
Cool. I didn't even need to roll to get back up.
I'm gonna throw my spear at this fucker, and
So we're going into
Now
actual
y'all are
combat.
going into combat.
So describe how you open yourself to harm.
well, you know,
I'm gonna put on pajamas. I'll be right back.
Go for it.
it's Can I combine skills with my combat actions? I've forgotten.
I mean, it's all narration. The
So,
combat
yes.
skill doesn't.
So
The
one of my
combat
skills
rolls
is,
don't change based on what skills you're using.
Okay.
So it's all color.
Well, never mind then. Because one of my skills is surprise. I was thinking, you know, just kind of hit him from a really awkward angle that he wasn't watching. But
Let me just double check that. Yeah, because you just roll a dark die for every character that's involved in the fight. So you can still narrate that as like you catch him from the side, but it's just like it's more than just one move that we're talking about here with combat. Like we're talking about
yeah,
like the whole exchange. So that might be like that could easily be more than a round of standard D&D combat.
yeah. So I forgot how many dice do I roll in combat.
You roll 1 dark die for every treasure hunter who was involved in the fight.
So you and Kyle.
And that's it, just dark die.
You roll 1 light die to determine your weak point.
Okay. So I leave myself open because I'm like, the spear can go through armor, but I do need to propel it, and it's like a full body, like, whoosh.
You're off balance a bit.
Yeah, so I'm off balance. At the end of it, definitely not protected by my positioning or armor.
I mean, and also I'd imagine, you know, by the time your throw is fully completed, it's going to know that you're there now.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and like I said, we're not talking about just necessarily one throw. Like this is an ongoing. This is because this roll could end combat, so you have to think like
Yeah. The entirety of the fight
D&D.
type thing. I see.
You might be going through 3-4 rounds of combat.
Okay.
This roll will encompass that whole time.
Yes.
Colin, is Inda participating in combat?
Yeah.
How is Inda opening herself up to harm?
With a bow and arrow, like, it would take me a significant amount of time. Like, even if I just, like, dropped my bow, it would take me an amount of time to get my quarterstaff out of its, like, holster.
Mhm.
And that would allow this enemy to close the distance. And also, it's a quarterstaff, so like they could probably just like cleave straight through it
Okay.
with a greatsword. Like, while it's a good weapon and I can, poke them with it, switching from my bow, which, like, I really need to target my shots, right,
Okay.
to hit soft spots.
Yeah.
I can't just
So yeah,
go
go
like,
ahead and,
I can't just do center mass.
Yeah, so roll your light die, each of you, to find out your weak point.
I already rolled mine.
What's your light die?
My light die is 1.
Okay.
I got
4.
a 4.
And I rolled the
So
dark
if
die.
any of the dark dice show one of those numbers, you
One
will
or
take
4.
ruin.
So the dark die are 5 and 3 respectively.
Okay.
So do
That's
I... Oh.
So you engage with Blaine. You send that spear flying, and it punctures his armor, and you let loose a few arrows that just slam into different parts of his body that aren't armored, and he goes down into a heap before he can even get to you and strike you.
Nice.
You receive a whole 4 gold dice
Ooh.
because his endurance was 4.
Yep. So now at the end we'll roll 4 gold.
No, roll those right now.
Oh, roll
because
those
that
now.
helps inform
Oh,
your
okay.
decision about spending tokens and whatnot.
Well, great.
That's one of the things I've picked up.
Let's roll those now. Wow! Holy shit!
Holy
3 6s.
And a 3.
Nice. So that's 3 pieces of gold.
Right there.
Nice.
What are you able to salvage from this Blaine?
Does anything happen to his corpse? I guess ants are getting inside it now.
I would like you to describe what you take from the corpse before I describe anything else.
So we get 3 gold and then salvage, or just 3 gold from
No,
salvage?
that salvage represents a 3 gold. Like,
Okay, so
what do you get that is worth 3 gold?
the sword is really nice. Like, it is exquisitely crafted, and it has really high workmanship in the leather, and it has a jewel inlaid hilt with engravings. So that would be 2, and then his armor is, it's really high quality, but it's not special like the sword is. So there's 1 gold from that.
Perfect. So
Can I get my arrows out of his body?
Oh yeah.
What's that?
I get my arrows out of his body. Does that need to cost
I don't
anything?
think we count. I don't
one
think
of his
this
bones
game
to
counts
be-
ammo.
I want one of
Okay.
his bones to be a treasure.
You want his
Supposedly the
bones
bone-
to be a treasure?
Yeah, that's what I want, because the bones of a supposed hero.
Dude, just let the ants strip that thing.
Well, that's what I was gonna. I like the way that Harris talked about the gold. It's already good, but I was gonna have the ants as part of getting inside of his body, just rip a bone out.
I'm gonna scrimshaw
So
that.
more or less, like they were just gonna pull the bone out through its flesh because they misinterpreted getting
Which
inside.
bone?
What's
get
a
one
good
bone.
bone to have of a warrior?
Femur.
The femur of a warrior.
All right, you have a femur. You have this great sword and armor. You can also use that equipment.
Throw it on.
If you keep it after the adventure, it will add to your burden.
I will wear the armor.
The breastplate?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I'll be really heavily armored.
Yeah,
Unless you want armor so that you have a little something.
No, I
Some
got
bracers.
bracers.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
it's for shooting arrows. I gotta be
Alright,
swift.
yeah, I'll put on the breastplate until it's time to sell it.
So, if you mark that breastplate, you will not get that gold from when you return to town.
Okay. It's fine.
That's if you choose to mark
I have
it.
burn through first.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose to keep it, it will raise your burden by 1 for your next adventure.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's 1
Yeah.
temporary hit point.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And same with the great sword. If someone wants to use it, you're welcome to. If something happens, obviously, if you keep it after the adventure, it adds to your burden.
Yes. My arm's too weak for something.
But if you sell it off, you'll get your 2 gold. If something happens to it, you won't get that gold, obviously.
I know my skill. I cannot lift that sword
Hey, where's
to kill.
Blaine?
He was hiding behind the statue.
Real Blaine.
I see I've already taught you all so well. That was skillful combat against what was clearly a mighty adversary. I don't know why it looked like such a fearsome warrior, but good work taking it down.
Well, that gets rid of my first question of why the hell did it look exactly like you. Second, do you want this sword? It's better than your current one.
No, I have Ewan, and he and I are already bonded on the battlefield, so there's no need for another weapon.
Hey, you have a little dirt here. Right on your shirt. See, friends take care of their friends when they look rough.
Yes, bonding among my pupils. This is a beautiful thing. Continue.
Well, I don't think I'm going to really use this great sword, but we can at least take it and then sell it when we get back to town. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I cannot.
You see Blaine go over and kind of caress Rayo's face.
Alright.
And clearly, like, checking him over and making sure that Rayo's fine after the little scuffle.
Yep. Inda doesn't really have a reaction. It's just like, oh, okay.
So, last thing you heard, or were dealing with, was the ants crawling around the head of the statue.
Yes. We'll get back to that.
So looking closer at it, you see the face has a very neutral expression, and the eyelids look half open, half closed, and there's a small crown around the head.
And the ants were making a circle around the neck or around just the crown of the
It's
statue?
like they're walking about the head.
Okay. So guys, there's something up with the noggin on this statue. Shit.
Noggin.
Yes.
Let's see what my skills be. Alchemy, ritual, symbols. Ryan, is there any like runes or script detailing on this statue?
On the plinth, there is a small plaque.
There's a small plaque. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to read the small... What does the small plaque say?
It says, "From dream into waking, may you rest eternal."
Okay.
How similar to our barrel boy does the statue looking?
I would like you to make a hunt roll for that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Alright.
Let's see. I have spirits, animals, rituals, and omens. I'm not really sure any of those specifically fit. I don't know. Does anyone have any items that can help? Because my dice and my journal and my grease, they're not going to be...
No, dude, I have chain manacles and a wooden labyrinth game.
Okay.
We can ask Harris when he gets back into the room to see if he has any items that help. Also, Ryan, I don't know how late you want to go, but I think I got about half an hour. I'll try to go for 45 minutes. But
Okay.
It's 11 o'clock, and I just got hit with a huge wave of tired. So I'm going to try to go for another 30 minutes.
Do you want to finish this tonight, or do you want to get halfway through this and hit pause?
Do you we can come back to this. So we could finish this set and do some more next time, or we
I'm
can
totally down for that.
Yeah, I'm cool with like we make some progress, right? We do whatever the amount of time that we feel is appropriate progress tonight.
Alright. How about we try and finish this set, and then we
This figuring out the problem in this cloister.
Well, just we get
Or
our
just
3
like-
tokens to get to the altar room
Oh,
because
okay.
that's our goal right now.
Okay,
So let's get our enough tokens to get to the altar room.
let's do that then.
Yeah.
I can.
So right now I'm trying to see
I
if
can
there's
muscle through for that.
similarities between the statue and our barrow boy, and you don't have any items that'll be beneficial for that, right? Because I don't have any. I've got journal.
I have a skinning knife.
Yeah.
I have a
Just
winter
cut off his skin, see if he's got marble under.
Fucking winter wolf pelt, hard candies, a spear, club, and a helmet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think spirits, animals, rituals, or omens are any valuable skill for this. So, and then I have just a white die because I'm doing a thing, right?
Yeah.
I got a 4.
You get a token.
Yep.
And the statue bears a passing resemblance to Rayo. I mean, the statue's clean shaven, and Rayo's got a beard. The paint that would have been on this statue is long since chipped off. Maybe, probably, but it's hard to say with a high level of certainty.
Okay, so it's likely. There's a plaque with words on it on the plinth.
Okay.
Talking about dreaming and
Dreaming.
yes, slumbering and dreaming.
Slumbering.
As you continue looking around, you feel the ground tremble just a little bit, and you see all of the plants and trees in the courtyard just give a slight shudder. But the moment is short, passes quickly.
That's odd.
Maybe the earth is cold.
Right.
The world had a shudder, a shake,
Ooh,
briefly.
interesting.
Kitty, leave us alone. Oh, he's confused by my charging cord. It's not a toy, buddy. Okay. So, let us. The earth has shaken. What is our? We know there's something interesting and important about the face of this statue.
Ryan, how big is this statue?
Slight. It's to scale.
Okay.
And the statue seemingly bears a passing enough resemblance to our barrel boy.
So, should we put this head back on the statue?
I thought the head was it was still attached.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
No, I was under the
head's
under the
frozen.
assumption that the statue was whole.
Yeah, statue's whole. The ants are just crawling on the head.
Okay.
All around and all over it.
Is the statue like too high up where I can't see the actual crown?
Oh no, the plinth is only maybe coming up to your thigh. You can easily
Okay.
see.
So like I want to look at what like the statue, like the head of the statue, like is it cracked? Is there something significant about the crown of the statue? Like maybe I need to peel some statue away to find a secret thing underneath.
Okay, so you're investigating the head carefully.
Yeah.
Okay, you get a white die. We're going to do that as a hunt roll. You've got a white die for that. Do you have a skill or a piece of equipment or anything like that that will
Not
help
really.
you?
That's a 6.
Baby.
You take a token. Tokens are technically individual, but you can pool them to finish a set.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were individual.
It's so you still have autonomy over. If you want to spend a token to get gold, you don't have to debate it with the group. It's your token.
I see. Okay, I like that.
I mean, I'm kind of invested with the group right now, so like.
Yeah.
Do
And
we,
like I said,
like we just
you can
add another
pool tokens if you want to.
Yeah. I'm fine with the pool, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's add another token to the.
I got it, baby battle.
Cool.
You investigate the head quite carefully, and while the crown doesn't move, you notice that the eyes they're recessed.
Oh.
And it looked like there had been something slotted in there at some point in time. You have good reason to believe that this will help you find the altar room, and that whatever was in here would have been kept inside the temple.
So there's like 2 orbs that we need to find, or like 2 jewels that were in the eyes of the statue.
2 somethings.
2 somethings that we need to
Did you
find.
need something? Come on.
And then those are.
We need 2 somethings, Ryan.
You need 2 somethings.
Yeah, you asked us if we needed something. We need 2.
2 somethings, yes.
Yeah. Hello, Ryan's friend.
That's Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
They said hello. Ben said he loves me, blew me a kiss.
Aw, I love you too.
Rick loves you as well.
No, I love you. But I can also love him. I probably love him too.
Ben's response was, "Oh, cool,"
Yeah.
and then he left.
Yeah.
I love you too, Rick.
Sammy boy.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with you telling Ben that I love him, even if I wasn't sure yet. That's I probably do. It's cool.
Aspirational.
Yeah.
I like Ben. He's a good guy.
Yeah, you've spoken extremely highly of him.
Okay. So we're looking for 2 things that would about the size that would fit into an eye socket.
So the notable places that we talked
Where
about.
are your pupils? Where are your other pupils? Blaine. And put them in the eyes.
You mean the part of the eye this time, don't you?
No?
Well, you are my only current pupils. My other pupils have all graduated to do fine things. They're all highly regarded soldiers and warriors of fame and fortune.
Buddy. We are too big to fit. So we are the wrong pupils. Get a famous pupil. See if they fit. Who?
So Blaine.
What's famous names?
Well.
Grognax?
There's of course Thane. He is a great wielder of the battle axe, and Jane, another of my pupils, she was great with the javelin. And Dane, another of my pupils.
I knew someone. Dwayne.
Man, Discord. There we go. Sam's in.
I'm back.
I knew someone who had a cousin. Dwayne. You know Dwayne?
Oh yes, of course. I see you've heard of my pupils. They are quite famous, well regarded, highly acclaimed fortune fighters.
What kind of weapon did Dwayne use? Alright.
Dwayne ran from chickens. Dwayne was a 32-year-old man who ran from chickens.
Dwayne yielded a big rock.
Pocket sand.
Yep.
I mean, I was referencing Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I see. He got he became famous actually. This is a Dwayne who is famous. He became famous because he ended up actually. This is the guy who got the nickname Horse Crusher. He accidentally drops a rock and crushes in the course of it 3 horses essentially. It comes down on one's head and it crushes it in such a way that the horse splays out and it takes out the other 2 horses and their riders. And so, he became famous by accident, and he never wanted it. And Dwayne, Horse Crusher.
We came up with this whole line of thought while we were digging the pit, because we found this slab of concrete. Yeah. And before we had even fully exposed it, it was, we're like, oh, it's this big. And, that's more than you need to kill a person. You can kill it if you dropped it on top of them.
Especially castle invasions. Oh, we found a lot of helmet crushers, tell you what.
Yeah. So that's how it started. He dug one up that was... Every time I would go into the pit, I would dig, do my, barrelfuls, we'd switch, and Rick would go in, and he'd immediately hit big-ass rocks. Every fucking time.
I would say...
I was there. Yeah. I witnessed it.
Between 40 to 70% of my strikes, each time I was in the pit that first day, I was hitting rocks.
It was bad.
The percentage changing different time that I was in the pit, but
it was literally every time.
Yeah. But anyway,
he went in and found them. I had just avoided them, so he found a big one.
Yeah.
That was and he's like, that's a skull crusher right there. Yeah. So then we found this slab of concrete, and we're like, oh, that's a horse crusher, and it turned out to just be a thin plate of concrete that was. The size of an oversized, oatmeal raisin cone.
But attached to a massive compaction of earth underneath it, which made it seem as though it was one huge, 80, 70 pound solid chunk of rock. Because it was all, it was solid and firm coming together, but... Yeah, pretty good. But yes, Dwayne, one of Blaine's pupils. It's, Dwayne, not good.
So anyway,
okay.
We digress from all of Blaine's other pupils. Blaine, I know how we can get into the altar room of this temple. We're looking for 2 objects roughly the size of eyeballs. They might be spheres, like stone or wood, I don't know. They were once in this statue. They might even be jewels. But once we find them... we might need to activate them of some kind, but they will lead us to the altar room.
We need them.
If you would be so kind with your ultimate powers of heroism, lead the way. Enlighten us, your pupils.
Shine the light in your eyes.
Many ways of searching for something, and I will admit that searching is a little bit outside of what a fighter of my renown typically does. But
which toe am I missing? Which toe am I missing?
But Blaine,
it's awareness.
Blaine, did you not just say?
I am happy to help you, my pupils, in finding these objects.
Okay, then do. Sure.
Blaine, did you not just tell us 20 minutes ago that you're aware of all of your surroundings?
But how will you receive your training if I simply hand you the answer to everything you search for? No. This is your chance to expand your awareness.
You're not handing us the answer. You're showing us how it's done, and you can explain it along the way.
Experience is the best teacher. That is Warriors Rule number 36.
We want experience, you do it.
I have this experience.
Yeah, that's why we want experience. Okay,
goodbye. We actually have experience of our own, and rule whatever of highly effective pirates is do unto others before they do unto you. So please proceed.
Somebody give me a hunt roll for this.
I got it.
Freaking booping Blaine to help out.
3!
I also got a 3.
No, I didn't roll. I looked at your 3.
So
I feel deflated.
you could roll. Like, do you have a reason why you could roll a second die?
Spirits, animals, rituals, omens? No, I don't.
Acrobatics, security,
Skill,
surprise,
gear,
despair.
environment.
Security, surprise.
I don't know that those really fit.
No.
I don't think keywords are really going to help us. They're just kind of like story
Well,
prompts.
those are your skills. Those are his skills. Despair is a skill of his.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, and secrets is or surprise is a skill of his.
I stand corrected.
I don't think that we really do. I mean,
Okay.
could do a magic at him, but I don't feel like doing that. It's been touching ant minds. His mind seems gross and bad. I don't want that.
No, I cannot steal this experience from you. I insist.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to look around then.
Then let's go towards that library place. Because they said it's likely in the temple. The library place.
Right.
The place where books are, that's in the temple. Well,
Hey,
let's go look words. Books?
he's drinking out of your
Scrolls? Books? Scrolls?
I
Books?
made
Yes.
my peace with it.
cup.
He just starts heading towards scrolls and books.
Okay.
Alright,
I'm gonna
let's go
follow.
check
And
out the
stuff.
sort of library.
Yeah, library is an overstatement. There is
The book home.
a single bookshelf
The
with
book nook?
books, which, given the seclusion of the place and the age of the place,
Is
I
impressive.
that
like
they
that.
have books at all is impressive in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
Harris, I like that. Nook.
But yeah, there's this bookshelf. There's also a desk that has seen better days. You can see that there's a lot of dry rot in it. And there's also just this very impressive canvas map on the wall.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a way in. Start rifling through desk drawers. Might as well. Let's just get going.
Sure.
Well, secrets are secrets because they're hidden. You gems don't stay out. Just starts opening up desk drawers. Let's go. Let's look through this thing. I don't have anything that would give me any benefit to that. I can't imagine spirits, animals, rituals, or omens does anything for me. Rifling through desk drawers.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm doing basically the same thing.
let's see
Kinda
if we
flipping
can
through.
fold in a skill here. Let's see what's fun here. This is a religious place. You know what sounds fun? To just utilize my skill of omens. What I'd like to do is find, because there's going to be a holy text here, right? Of the religion, the following the waking eye, right? What I'd like to do is just, indulging my omen skill is open up to a random page, just like trust the book, open it up, and just open up to a random page of their holy text and see what guiding inspiration it offers.
It's a stretch, but go for it. We're running to the end of our time. So
That's
go
why I
ahead.
figured I'm gonna start stretching. So
So that's 2 white dice.
Yeah.
Or 2 light dice.
a 1 and a 5.
5 gets you a token. As you open to a page, you see writing about lightning stone eyes, and you can presume that is topaz.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it talks about how the waking eye bears light from the heavens and bridges the way between sleep and waking. you are certain that you are looking for 2 pieces of topaz that will fit perfectly into the eye of that statue.
Okay. So we have.
As you're rifling through the pages, though, you see just for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me take that back.
Yeah.
Let me take that back.
Love it. Take it back. Run it back. Rewind us a little bit. How far are we rewinding?
So you see the passage about the eyes and learning about the topaz. But as you are there, you start to feel tired, drowsy. You just need to put your head down for a second. Just for a moment.
This book is so boring.
And in fact, all of you are feeling slightly drowsy. And then more drowsy, and it's just hitting you like a ton of bricks.
Man, that fight really took a lot out of me. Huh.
You will all go to sleep for a short time. What peculiar thing do you each dream about?
I dream about choking to death on my own hard candy.
Oh, shit.
I dream that I am the ball lost inside of the labyrinth of my own puzzle.
Holy shit.
And I can't find my way out.
That's a good dream.
I mean, I've had weirder dreams.
I think that the way that it ends up working
I used to write them down.
With Ifari is that their dreams end up being a mishmash of the connections that they have made through Bewitch. And so it's just a smattering of things. But I think right now it's like perspective from the ants, and it's like getting a mishmash of different feelings and emotions, and like the sort of replaying a little bit of the last time that he spent with them, with them under his bewitchment. And so he's just dreaming about being an ant and having a conversation with a handful of other ants about the fact that food doesn't exist.
I was just about to ask if this was about to become
No, not
self-referential to last weekend.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, but there was a bunch of other ant stuff too, like despair and terror and worry and hunger.
Okay. You wake up, maybe the sun looks like it's in the same position. It's getting ready to set, but the light hasn't really become that, brilliant red just yet. But so you know that definitely less than an hour has passed, probably only maybe 10, 20 minutes.
So, did you Nick? Too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dreamt I choked to death on the candy.
Oh. Okay.
I see. You're all awake. I stood vanguard watching over your tired bodies.
Okay.
With more experience, you'll be able to resist strange magical compulsions such as these.
Inda totally notices that he has eye crusties, telltale that he also fell asleep, but isn't going to say anything because it would get us nowhere.
So, would we like to collect more tokens in this space, or would we like to exchange our tokens to complete our goal for this set?
Wait, we have 3 tokens, don't we? We
Correct.
can turn them in for the goal.
Yes.
Um,
Would we like to try to accrue more?
Any additional tokens become gold, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, you can spend them to become gold. You can also hold them and spend them in the next scene as part of your pool to get 3 tokens.
Yeah.
I've been playing with, at the end of the adventure, if you have any leftover tokens, you can spend them to just get gold, because it's kind of like, oh, on your way out, you do an extra little search.
Yeah.
And
Okay. I think we should try for one more.
Okay.
And then spend 3 tokens for
Okay. Well,
story advancement.
Harris, please tell us what kind of stuff Rasei does. Because you haven't, I don't think you've done any like, hunt rolls.
Yeah, not really.
You did a killing, but...
I've done some stuff. Ryan, I want to utilize my symbols again. Symbols skill again.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything particularly arcane in this book nook that I recognize.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
So 1 light
Go ahead
die.
and roll. Yep, two light dice.
2 light.
Your symbols.
For the hunt roll, you always get 1 no matter what.
Okay. So now I have 2 light die. Oh, that's not very good. I got 2 and 2.
You're looking for symbols around, and you, for a moment, catch the symbol that looks kind of like an eye, but I, Ryan Khan, forget the name of the effect where we see faces and things that have no faces.
Yes.
It's just...
Yeah, it's... I can't remember the name of it either, but it's our overactive pattern recognition. Yep.
Yes.
I'm there with you.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Well, like, you thought... I thought that I saw something for a moment, but it's like, no, that's not actually it.
Yeah, it's like you see an eye, and it's like kind of... And it's weird. It's like the negative space, and this one thing that's sitting on the desk, and an image on the map. Just for a second, you thought you saw a picture of Blaine, but this one had this kind of like this rugged look to him, this nice square jaw, got a really nice haircut. You almost felt like his eye was twinkling in this image of false faceness.
Pareidolia. That's the word.
Thank you. And then it's gone.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, Hannes?
I don't know. I'm sort of deep in the abstraction here, but so one of my skills is security, and I'm wondering if I could, do a hunt roll, looking around for places where people might have stashed things to hide them, to keep them secure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a great use of security.
I agree.
So 2 dice.
4 and a 3.
4 will get you a token. Where do you find the topaz?
So, a lot of temples have hidden recesses built into the walls, false shelving, basically, and so that you can put out decoy items or just hide them plainly if theft is a consideration, or if it's just too precious. And off on the wall to the left of the plinth, there's one such recess that has what looks like maybe the remains of like votive candles.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little hidden compartment with a stone that pushes back, and it's stuck in there.
Yeah, you find that topaz. Meanwhile, you look over and you hear a groan coming from the wheelbarrow. And Blaine immediately runs over and says, "Oh, my dear, are you okay?" I'm doing the best I can, okay? I'll just give me a little bit more time. Just give me a little bit more time. And Blaine looks up and sees the three of you. I assume you're looking at him.
Yeah.
If you're not, you can say so.
Definitely looking at that.
Yeah.
Dude has been magically asleep this whole time, and now he makes some noise.
Rule number 48 of the Warrior's Code is always care for those who are under your protection. It's heroic to show vulnerability sometimes.
Do you need rules to know to care for people?
I don't.
Okay.
Most people don't need to write that down.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a general thing in life of don't be a dick.
Guys, I don't think Blaine went to preschool.
I've been training with the sword since I was able to stand and hold one on my own. I had no need for scholarly pursuits of that type.
Well, isn't that apparent? It's too bad I can't do like a deception roll for that, because it's brimming with sarcasm.
Oh.
Do you want Blaine to notice?
No.
He does not notice. Alright. You've got the topaz.
Yeah.
You want to spend your 3 tokens?
Sure. That sounds like a plan.
Cool. So we're going to have 1 left over.
You can also spend that 1 now to get a treasure worth 1 gold piece, or you can hang on to it till next time.
We have 3 gold right now.
Keeping in mind that if you make a hunt roll and you roll a 1, you lose all your tokens.
Yep.
Not as a group, individually. So
That's true.
right now it's just if Harris, you roll a 1, you would lose that token.
You have 1 burden, you have 4?
4, dude.
I've got 4. I think we should get gold right now.
Okay.
Because that'll only take us to 4 gold for all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll spend it.
What do you find that's worth 1 gold?
In this Ryberry?
I like
In the
the
book
idea
nook?
of it being some like I don't know. We had religious books last time. Oh! There's some like really fuck off nice beeswax, like real intense beeswax candles that are scented and oiled and fragrant, like extremely good candles.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's far more sophisticated of a find than what I was going to say in finding in this book nook.
What'd you want? The book nook?
Well, I mean, we're in a temple.
Yep.
I was thinking, like, I don't know. I've been to a bunch of churches for choir and stuff, and some of them are exceedingly expensive places.
Yeah, dude. Colin, when you said Ryberry, it just triggered me, and like I had a flashback to childhood and like kids that used to say Lello instead of yellow.
Oh,
there's milk instead of milk.
The Lello thing. There's the y is actually the most difficult and complicated sound to make in English for developing learners, which is why so many kids say Lello instead of yellow, and they have a hard time with it.
Because that L is a close enough approximation that people understand it, and L is a very easy sound to make.
Yes.
What's concerning is when you have somebody who is 10 and still doing that.
Yes, that is when you start to run into something.
Oh, native English speaker. If they're just learning English, then
Yes. Yeah. That's a fun thing. But yes, the yellow and Lello. I remember Erica. She was so worried about Gavin saying Lello still at 6. I'm like, that's That's normal.
Nah.
He's
No.
well within the range of saying Lello. And
Yeah.
it's fine.
What was concerning for me was when my high school physics teacher said, "Today we're going to go to the library."
Ah, yes. My mom, after her head injury, started saying library and tomorrow. Or tomorrow.
He was a football player, so he could have had his share of. Like he played varsity football, so he probably had his share of head injuries.
Yep. And was it? She said ambulance. Funny too. I don't remember how.
I mean,
I haven't heard my mom say the word ambulance in a very long
dude,
time.
when
so
I was Rich and Barb still have this running joke of when I was a toddler, I couldn't say ambulance correctly. I said balance.
I like it.
Balance.
That's all. Like
Balance.
That's
And also, I had like a Match Wheels helicopter that I loved to play with, but like I couldn't make the rotor noise very quickly of like bup, 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 right, like that. And Rich would be like, "Colin, what noise does a helicopter make?" Tick, tick, tick. Like it sounded literally like putting your turn signal on, like just click, tick, 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 tick.
I love it.
Yeah.
But we've turned
So
Dokins.
beeswax. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
I was thinking
beautiful
along the lines of
beeswax.
like some gold, like gilded candlesticks,
Yeah, not the candles.
but
The
the actual like scented beeswax candles.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm thinking is those super duper like oiled fragrant candles. Like,
Yep. Cool. So now we're back to 0 tokens
no, we have 0.
because we just
So,
we
but
have an equivalency of 1 more gold.
Yeah, but we have turned in all of our tokens. We have I don't know.
So you head back to the statue. You slot in the topaz. In doing so, the eyes actually close over it,
Oh.
and
Get those fingies out of the way so they don't get mushed in the statue.
then towards the back of the courtyard, the little cloister, you can feel the ground rumbling as the temple shifts shape, and
What?
a staircase forms itself up much higher into the temple. It's a very steep staircase, but it reaches several stories higher than anything else appeared to have when you wandered around in your exploration.
I thought there was
Right.
something in the ceiling.
There were clearly other stories, but there was no good way to get there. Now there is.
Okay.
All right. Shape-shifting temple. That's some shit right there, boys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dope. Well, let's next time ascend them steps. Get our tootsies up the steps.
You know, I have to say, I think our group cohesion is much better this time around.
I think really it also helps that we're familiar with the game and experience.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a better sense of how to leverage the things you have, or when you don't really have anything, and just be like, yeah, that's just how it is.
Well, and also, I think the devil's bargains. I think we're. Although I like the I like the downgrade. Like, you fall down.
Yeah, you just sometimes it's simple.
Yeah.
You gotta make it hard.
Cool.
Thank you
Yeah.
for running the session for us,
So,
Ryan.
do we want to return to this specifically next week, or do we want to put these people?
Let's keep it up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
might-
I'd definitely like to come back and do more adventuring with these people.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're not done.
Yeah, not even close.
I'd like to catch up, but I'm also really looking forward to playing Mass Effect Universe Genesis.
Yep.
That's why I wanted to, see exactly. What
Like, I'm happy to do, like, even Colin, if you want, like, do an alternating week sort of thing. So, like, next week is Genesis, and then the week after that,
Trophy gold.
Trophy Gold, and then that gives you 2 weeks to prepare, gives me 2 weeks to prepare.
Yep. Okay.
I could have something a little bit more substantial, more specific things in mind.
All right. I'm gonna
So
have to.
tentatively
I got some homework this week then.
Dope.
tentatively do that.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And Colin, like I said before, if you want to just like do a couple scenes
Yeah.
and then call it there because that's what you've had time to prepare,
Right.
I'm totally fine with that. And we can pick up something else. We can do something else, like we could pull out a honey heist type thing, or
Yeah. Do like
There's plenty of one-page RPGs in the world.
right.
Lasers and Feelings, or my new hack of Lasers and Feelings, which is called Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, Dragons and Dungeons.
I like it.
You have 2 stats, Dragon and Dungeon.
Did I send you guys that picture? I found a picture last night of a guy. It was
What does Dungeon and Dragon specifically entail?
When you're trying to do very beast-like things like hurt things or go ridiculous dragon, when you're trying to do more human things like explore and take advantage of intellect, roll dungeon.
I like it.
Actually, no, just when you're doing dungeon crawly things that isn't fighting monsters, because I'm making fun of Dungeons and Dragons. So when you are fighting things, dragon. When you're looking for ways to fight more things, dungeon.
Love
Other
it.
things don't require a roll.
Love it.
So would we just use the exact same rule set as Honey Heist?
No, you use
Or the sa-
lasers and feelings.
Oh.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the same idea.
I just came up with a new set all about construction sites. It's also called Dragons and Dungeons. You got 2 skills. One has to do with moving objects across the ground. That's dragons. And, dungeons is just any other form of work that exists. Because when you complete it, you're just feeling done, and then you want to drink some alcohol.
Gin.
Done, semicolon, gin.
Yeah. So mine is done gins and dragons. It's all about it's all about the people who are supervisors of job sites, construction job sites.
I think you should write this one-page RPG because
I think I'm
it's
gonna.
silly.
I think I'm gonna. This would be fun. And yep, it's all about.
I hate it and love it so much.
Yeah, it's a mix.
Both things.
Oh yeah, they compound. It's a mix of having to do the actual physical labor that was required of someone who once used to work construction sites but now is only a supervisor, and having to deal with the social monotony of being a construction supervisor for a large company and having to deal with outings and shit like that, and schmoozing and getting new clients involved.
I
That's
have
also
a
part of the
great
gin.
one-page RPG that we could play at some point.
Love it.
And I think it's called like Workplace Safety.
Great.
And you play a bunch of rubes. So everybody is named Rube.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like part of character creation is you say one thing that you do or have that often gets you into dangerous situations. Like the one time I played, I had a picture of my daughter in my wallet and I will just talk endlessly about her. Someone else was a forklift driver but didn't have their license.
Oh.
You know, speaking of forklift drivers, have you seen Staplerfahrer Klaus?
No.
So, pull up YouTube. You can watch this, later. It's the word is like stapler with FAHRER tagged onto the end.
Mm-hmm.
Staplerfahrer Klaus, and it's like forklift driver Klaus.
Oh no, I've seen that.
I got the voice I was using today from the voice that I started employing whenever I would have to deal with rocks and would call them a bastard. A bastard. And so that's just where I got this sound that came out of my mouth.
Alright.
Sorry.
Dennis is a bastard man.
The workplace safety game.
Yes.
The last half of the game. So the first half is you talk about your rube, and then the last half is you set up things in this factory or in the workplace that could be dangerous, and then you take turns escalating, talking about how one thing leads into another thing, leads into another thing.
I love it.
Like, oh, my forklift ladder knocks into a shelf, and the next person gets to say this escalation, and you keep going like that until everybody's dead.
Yeah, and because it's a big, beautiful Rube Goldberg machine.
Over, yeah.
Yeah.
And it is hilarious and stupid.
Oh boy.
That sounds fun. There's an improv game called Don't Kill the Baby, wherein in your scene
That's what I was looking for.
During your time, everyone's shared like the same space, but they're only on one at a time, and each person for every time that they're on, they
Post that in all chat to the group.
should be acknowledging whatever they can of the things that have been put in the room by everyone else, but also add one additional thing. And every additional thing that someone is adding is something which is inherently dangerous to a baby. And so, the one time that we played it with the improv group in Taipei, because we only did it one time, it was just, you do that game once, that's enough for a very long time, was, we were in like a garage, and I decided I wanted to start in a car up on a lift, and I had been taking a nap. And so I didn't go in through the door or anything. They're like, well, you have to start. And I'm like, they're like, you have to go in through the door and stuff. I'm like, what? Give me 1 second here. Explained it. And so I introduced a jack, an axe, and some darts. And the baby was already being destroyed by a lawnmower in the corner. The thing that I introduced was that I was disgusted.
That is a peculiar word to use. Destroyed. Baby got destroyed by a lawnmower.
The baby was far past dead at that point.
Oh God.
Oh no.
And so, next Friday,
that sounds fun.
Genesis.
Yep. Next Saturday, Genesis. Yep.
Blast some fools.
Yeah.
The Omni tool.
And Colin, I will encourage you. I think the GMing, the best way to learn is just by jumping in.
Just doing it.
Yeah.
Just doing it.
So don't
You can
worry
definitely kind
too
of drive
much
yourself
about.
insane doing too much prep.
Okay.
And thankfully, you have people who are experienced, considerate,
Yeah.
and wanting you to succeed.
I mean, I thought of a shop name
You did.
today on my Lowe's run. So. Alright.
One in addition to Mort's, or
No, it was Mort's Munitions Mart and more.
I suggest that he only sells to a small local group of people, thus Mart's Municipal Munitions and more.
I mean, his shop is located on a city that's built into an asteroid.
Perfect.
So, like, it's not. It's whoever comes and visits. It's not.
Mort's.
It's not a chain. Let's put it that way.
Well, it depends on how many other asteroids are moving nearby, because it might be a chain.
Yeah, Colin, don't worry too much.
1, I don't get it. 2, I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry too much.
Yeah, don't worry too much. It's like, for me, when I plan, and this part of the comfort comes from having GM'd many things, where it's like I like to know who are the major players and what do they want and what are they willing to do to get it.
Okay. I mean, I already know who all the major factions are in the Mass Effect universe. So I just need to
Yeah, well, I think
I just need to incorporate you guys somehow.
Faces.
I think of it this way, who are the major players that the characters are going to directly interact with in the next session?
Okay.
Like, for today, I had Blaine.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, what does Blaine want? And what is Blaine willing to do to get it?
Okay.
And after that, I fill in the blanks. Now, if you're not as comfortable with just making stuff up on the fly, you can still use those as guiding questions to figure out what's going on. Like,
Right.
in the scale of Mass Effect, it's like, okay, there's something bigger that people want. Or not necessarily. If you think about a lot of the quest lines, it's like, oh, I haven't seen my friend in 7 days. I'm really worried about them.
Yep.
So it's like that friend, okay, what is it they want? What are they willing to do to get it?
Yeah.
And then, or if the more relevant question is like, they were kidnapped. Okay, that kidnapper, what is it they want? And what are they willing to do to get it? We know that they're willing to kidnap. What else are they willing to do? Like, are they going to send henchmen to rough up their friend? Or are they going to send a ransom note? Or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I'll think about that tomorrow when I'm making bread.
If ever, like, I do nothing at all. So if you ever want to hop on voice chat or even just like chat on Discord about
Sure.
the nature of planning, I'm happy to chat.
Cool, dude. I will hit you up.
Please do, because I need stuff to do with my time.
Excuse me.
All right, guys.
Oh no.
I'm gonna run.
Alright,
Thanks
have
for
a good
playing.
night.
I
Love you.
enjoyed this.
Quick hand stack.
Quick hands.
Have a wonderful evening, Ryan.
See ya.
Meow.